bitches, I got money now. All a nigga understand is since that check came in, everybody talking like a nigga, acting funny now. That don't matter. All I hear is since that check came in. I love it when you talk to me. My cash machine, my cash machine. I love it when you talk to me. My cash machine, my cash machine. Since that check came in, don't you know I got the bag? And best believe my mama straight. I sent some bands to Tatiana, and if I brought you out, I pay you back. I got the second set of goldens, these ones way more colder. I'm in the sky like all the time, and now it's no layover. My records all across the way, then there was no payola. This money blue, these honey's blue, I'm talking no Crayola. My credit card is a plastic bankroll. Still keep that nine, cause I get guap from base shows. Got a balance in the cut, like you know. Talking to that, it does whatever I say, son. I ain't talking to you, bro. Bitches, I got money now. All a nigga understand is since that check came in, everybody talking like a nigga, acting funny now. That don't matter. All I hear is since that check came in. I love it when you talk to me. My cash machine, my cash machine. I love it when you talk to me. My cash machine, my cash machine. Since that check came in, I used to get the coldest show, but now I get the hottest side. How I feel about you is lukewarm. Man, where's you from? Cause I got all this cash. I'm asking where you work at, what kind of car you drive. Beat down, Accord, cashier, up at Five Guys. I get thousands for the walkthrough inside a nightclub, strip clubs, big bucks. Yes, sir, that's right. You done got left if you don't got my new number. Rich man told me it's a part of the cover. Remember when they used to want me to shut up? Now it's ironic cause I only conversates with them hunters. I ain't talking to you, bro. Bitches, I got money now. All a nigga understand is since that check came in, everybody talking like a nigga, acting funny now. That don't matter. All I hear is since that check came in. I love it when you talk to me. My cash machine, my cash machine. I love it when you talk to me. My cash machine, my cash machine. Since that check came in.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. So we're live. We're here. We're stable. We're making it. Shut up, Dram. We're good. We're stable. We're making it. Today it's a weird day. I'm feeling a little lukewarm. You know, to get in the mood of the song, the mood of the Dram. But I have FL in front of me. We will chat a little bit. We'll have some fun with music. Ugh. I also have some reaction videos, but I just don't really feel like gaming. I'm just very, very tired. Um, but you know, we gotta go live every day. You know, it's more of a muscle that I'm working than a true like urge to perform. I mean, I know greatest entertainer ever entails a little bit of discipline, which I do have, which I always have had. You know, but yeah, you gotta take stock of that. You gotta take stock of when your body is just like, ugh, no, I can't. Also, I meant to make this a short stream. I've been meaning to do a short stream for a minute. Along with Twitch, they seem to perform a little bit better when I make music on those. But I need to figure out how to multi-stream to YouTube. I actually don't know how to get two YouTube streams going at once. So, you know, slow moves the needle, progress makes perfection, all that good stuff. Um, I think what I'm gonna do here, I have YouTube on in the background, so we can listen to a little bit of that. So I will get window capture here. That'll work. I'll just get Chrome in here. Um, so that we can watch a little bit of a video. I have something to yap about here on the collar grate. Collar grate? Hello? Am I stable? Am I okay? Are we okay, chat? Oh, it's a little broken. I see. I see. I see. I see. I see. Yeah. So we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll watch a little bit of the Collar Great drama with Dr. K. And he's not really even talking about necessarily Collar Gate in general. He's sort of talking about the reality of streaming. The title here is streaming culture is a big time bomb. As you can see here, streamer culture. Oh my god, I zoomed in too much. I'm dumb. Too much, too much. Back to 200. Streamer culture is a time bomb. Indeed, indeed it is. I agree. I agree. You can see I've already made it through a little bit of this video. But I just wanted to take you guys through and really like understand that this has to end. As a people, as a community, I don't think it's truly every individual's fault for this, but it's every individual's responsibility to solve it. And we're gonna solve it by having open and honest communication. Instead of just talking over each other. And he's sort of just talking about the toxic ways of communication that we have nowadays. I've talked about it a little bit in the way that, as for things like Twitch chats and streamer chats, you're really not talking to people. And a lot of people use these as substitutes for, social interaction. And thus they grow up, stifled and stunted, socially inept individuals like Mizkif who don't understand how people work. And just expect everyone to bend over backwards for them because they have number big, they have clout, and eventually people kind of just like watching you to watch you. um just because everybody else is. I realize that a lot, man, especially for these lives, live streams that I watch, that other people watch or whatever. People kind of just do what the rest of the people in the stream are doing. So for someone lovely like me who has no one chatting, no one's gonna be the one person out who says hi or chats or whatever. Because like, what am I supposed to say? We're supposed to have a one-on-one talk, and then I'll invite you on stream, and then nobody really wants to have that kind of interaction. They want like a group mob mentality so that they can turn their brain off. And that's a lot of this is about. The fact that turning our brain off is a lot more profitable and moves the needle a lot more than actually having a conversation. It just gets a lot of traction. So that's what he's going over on here. This section, I want to actually take a step back to mixed messages section right here. He gets past the basically the start of this is a bunch of like background about Collargate, and then how we're just talking across each other, and how you can sort of form your own opinion on this depending on how you already felt about him, that kind of thing. And it doesn't really matter if you're watching somebody who's like for Hasan or against Hasan. It's just going to stabilize um, your opinion on the whole matter. And it's kind of funny because for me personally, I suppose you want to know my take on this. I say this a lot, but I really truly just don't care. Shock collars are something that I have used in my life, that I know how they work. I know that a lot of dogs need to be trained in that way. But the way I view this is just like child abuse, It's like it's his child, it's his dog. So what if he has a fucking shock collar? I don't care. Now, what's really funny about it to me is that the proof is getting more. It's like it's piling up, and I feel like if he would have just came out and said, "Yeah, I do, and I do shock my dog to make him stay there, because it makes the stream more money or whatever," whatever fucking reasoning is actually behind the people who think he's shocking his dog. If he just came out and said it's a shock collar, or it's a shock collar, but I removed the prong so it just vibrates now, whatever. If he was just a little bit more honest with the way he portrayed it, I think there would be a lot less backlash, at least from the people that I'm seeing. The level-headed takes of people that I'm seeing. But it probably would have still blown up a little bit. Just maybe not for weeks and weeks and weeks, because you realize it is like the end of October, the start of like the beginning of October, middle of October. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that it's still going on. This video was actually released, what, 10 hours ago? Not even a day ago. Stupid shit. But we have that. we have that. We have FL Studio here as well. Let me go back to the stream. Make this a little bit smaller. Yeah, a bit smaller. There we go. That's good. Ah. So this is gonna be a little bit of Mother 3 again. We love Mother 3. Before we start, I'll show you how this one sounds. We'll get the BPM right and all that good stuff. And then we'll just listen to Dr. K. I'll see if I have anything cool to say about it. I probably don't. I'm a very boring and stupid person. All that fun stuff, all that self-deprecation so that you feel better about yourself, you stupid gooner chatter. Oh, it's 116. That's a pretty good beat. That's a pretty good beat. All right. And then let's see if this pace is right. Sorry about that. That was a little loud. Okay, that works. So while I'm working on this, let's listen to Dr. K. Oh, I had him muted. That's very funny that I had him muted. And I'm talking about good ways of communication and actually talking to each other and not at each other. And I had him muted. Also, I'm sorry if you don't have the attention span of a crazy goose with its head cut off. I do listen to things at 2x speed. We'll reach a happy medium and I'll go 1.5 for this. If you guys like it super fast, I'll do it super fast. That's what I said. That's what I said. Well, for me, it's not like days later. It's really like hours later. Maybe sometimes, and I am so like sensitive to comedic timing and being in the moment. So if I think of a rebuttal and it's something like maybe 30 seconds after I should have said it, I'm not gonna say it. Just because I've been that guy who said jokes in crowds of people like once or twice, and then somebody of theirs, come out and be like, "Hey man, it wasn't funny the first time. Chill out." Or I just feel my own cringe. Sometimes people even have to say that, and you can just feel others detecting your cringe. It's like cringe detected. So yeah, I do get that. I do get that, but at a certain point, you just gotta come clean with the whole Hassan thing. I mean, if it really is that kind of situation with the truth just being misconstrued in a way like that, then wouldn't be easy to just be like, okay, guys, it was a shot call. I mean, like, it's so annoying that we can't do that these days. We can't grow and evolve in authentic ways and make these mistakes honestly, and people will be like, oh yeah, that's cool, that makes sense, at least you're growing. No, people want to hold you to the fire just to hold you to the fire, just to have an enemy, because there feels like life is too easy. We don't have to go out and fucking skin boars and fight woolly mammoths, so we have to fight Hamas and Hassan. And I called him Hamas. That was crazy. We have to fight Hassan. Oh, jeez. Let me play the video again. Holy shit. Actually, before I start this again, let's see if this syncs up. Okay, so I do like that. It goes a little bit too fast, though. I like this first part, though. That's fun. That's fun. So we'll keep these two. We're going to make this unique. And then I'm going to stretch it out a little bit. But let's go back to Dr. K.
differential diagnosis for a situation. See, when a patient comes into my office and I think one thing, the whole point of medical training is like, I think this is what happened, but I could be wrong. Like, I think you've got COVID, but maybe you've got cancer. Maybe it's an allergy. Maybe it's an autoimmune disease. So we are formally trained to think through multiple possibilities. This we do not see on the internet. Depending on what your narrative is, you jump to a conclusion, right? You just jump to a conclusion. So people say like, oh, there's mixed messages and people are lying. Like, no. So I want y'all to think about fucking the last time you and your roommates argued about the dishes. If I were to go and interview all through 3 roommates, who did the most dishes? I'd get 3 different answers. Does that mean that people are lying and trying to do a cover-up? No, people just have their own individual flawed memory, their perception of things, they're representing that. It doesn't mean that there's some kind of conspiracy or that people are lying or trying to cover up or anything like that. I think human beings sometimes, I know it sounds insane, human beings sometimes make contrary statements. Keep in mind that even though I'm saying all this stuff, I'm not commenting on whether Hasan used a shock collar or didn't use a shock collar. I have no idea. Okay, I don't know. I wasn't there, right? And so you're allowed to believe what you want to believe. If you think that all of this evidence against him, that people are saying this, and like the Loner Box video, like this is what the shock collar is, that he has this historic narrative of like being at least callous towards animals, if not abusive. I don't really know, right? So it doesn't look good. And that's when we get to another issue, which is selection bias, right? So when these things kind of happen, so I don't know if y'all, I once had a patient that got accused of not really sexual misconduct, but was like harassing one of the female employees. But the moment that happens, the whole narrative changes. The moment that happens, everyone is like, oh yeah, like they were such a creep. There was that one day in the break.
Great, there's a bot in chat. Here we go. I'm on Twitch here. Let me get rid of that. The funny thing though about these funny mixed messages that everybody gets is that everything is really for clout. All the virtue signaling, all the whatever, man, and that's why I really don't care about um all the people jumping on bandwagons and calling for cancellation and all that shit or whatever. But it really is just all for clout. You can't take these people's statements of what is good and bad um too explicitly, which is which is why even when I have opinions and takes on things, I don't like to take the huge step into things, because if I haven't explain this too explicitly on the channel yet, I'll explain it again. I do not want to be famous. I do not want the clout. In fact, the amount of traction I'm getting now is a little bit scary to me. First music video I posted has about 2,000 views at the time. I really don't remember what I got when I first posted it, but just imagine this is early YouTube. Views meant a lot more back then, and it was a pretty popular video, and I did not like that it was a pretty popular video. I still don't like to gain popular videos, but you know what I do like? Making videos. So we have a problem here, right? But I realize, since my life is like that, since I'm a weirdo like that, I can just make takes that are truly in the middle and trying to start a conversation, because I know they don't get traction. Like this one post that has like the 70K likes or whatever, saying Hasan shocks his dog. You know what I'm saying? Like if that was a Magic Koopa Mark post, I'd be like, what do you think about this situation? It could be somewhere like this or somewhere like, it's super boring, super less traction, right there in the middle. Nobody really cares about it, yada yada yada. And that's just the way I like to grow. I feel like you get a more stable fan base, you have a foundation of peace, and it may take longer. As a matter of fact, it probably will take longer. But I feel like it's probably worth it, so that you don't get 40-month subscribers over here in Hasan's base, berating him and calling him a liar. Like imagine that. Somebody supports you and your dumbass for over 3 years, and then they start talking shit about you. Especially if this collar shit isn't true. That's like, I understand Hasan's crash out completely. I understand even Jellywigs, Ludwig's crash out. I understand them both, man. It's a sad thing, but yeah, when you build a fan base off of something that's so shaky, like public opinion, and following trends and making these huge leaping decisions on what's right and wrong, depending on not only what you feel, which is just one part of it, but also what your fan base feels. It's like none of that matters, man. It's just the facts matter, and respecting other people matters. So if you want to show Hasan respect, and that is a want that not everybody has. But if you're someone like me who wants to show everyone respect, and you want to show Hasan respect, then you have to be like, hey, there's two sides to this. Of course, You know, if it was just like an explicit, like, oh, he shocked us, he would have came out and just said, oh yeah, guys, it was like this, and then there would be proof corroborating it. It would be clear. But I think the reason why it's dragging on so long, and Hassan probably knows this too, it's the general air of mystery around it. There's a lot of debate. The internet sleuths like to schizo out. You know, I am one of them. I'm not gonna act like I'm above that. Um, Thinking about things is basically my main daily activity. You know, at 12 o'clock sharp every day, I'm like, ooh, it's time to think. It's time to think and goon and think and goon. All right. So, anyways, I'm gonna turn this off, and then we're gonna listen to a little bit of this FL thing that I made here. Turn the volume up on that.
Shit, bitch. I like cash in my hair to my ass. Do the dash, can you make it go fast? Fuck the fame, all I want is them bands. If she keep on mugging, I'ma still her man. He watching my behavior cause he know I'm bad. Pussy put a spell on him, he in a trance. I do what I please and you do what I ask. He love my confidence and that's what you like. If you think I'm still in swag, bitch, come and sue me. They watch me like I'm a new movie. His baby mother is my groupie. We got the club going up on a Tuesday. Like a OMG girl, I'm a beauty. If it don't go my way, I get moody. Nigga flexing on you is my duty. I'm the big dog, my nickname is Scooby. Who got beef with me? Girl, you don't wanna compete. I'm too fast on my feet and you know where I be. Making you mad is my specialty. I'm the petty queen, I need you to have a seat. My dad would drill you like a cavity, and he won't let you win on his strategy. Better think twice when you come for our family. Honey, you're gonna cause a fatality. Can't do no bro code that give me.
All right, it sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. I'm gonna edit this a little bit. We'll get back to decay. We'll get back to decay. But yeah, sounds good so far. Sounds good so far. I'll go and turn this down so you guys aren't annoyed. I might mute it, but I don't think I'm gonna be that annoying. All right. Nothing. Nope. Isn't that sad how true that is? It's like, I don't think there's anything to convince these fucks, man. You know, I'm over here thinking about me and a lot of the people I watch that are like, you know, you call them quote unquote Hassan haters or whatever. Hassan gooners, you know what I'm saying? Hassan content goblins, Hassan content farmers, you know, Asman and all that stuff. I'd say, you know, they have opinions, but like hate is such a strong one that I really wouldn't go there. And that's just because a lot of the things they attack him for aren't like, you know, him himself, you know? It's just like what he does, what he says. You know, and Hassan's an attractive guy, but nobody really attacks his appearance or, you know, his house or, you know, his voice or whatever the fuck. His stupid fucking glasses. You know, at least the people that I watch, they don't attack those things. So it's like, I don't know, man. If there's anything to convince them besides just corroborated proof that it isn't one. And he tried to show it. That's the funny thing, man, is that he tried to show proof of this shit, and it just didn't click with people because it felt weird. Like, it felt off. Like, what were you supposed to do, you know? People were saying it looked like some, you know, sleight of hand. And I think he might show the clip here. It looked like some sleight of hand thing that he did there. But I don't know. To me, it didn't look too different from how I would show off anything on camera. But I don't know. I'm a very private person. I'm a very secretive person. So maybe that makes sense. You know, I don't really like to show off things on camera at all. So I once again I can kind of get it, and once again I am someone who's used shock collars, not to like, I don't have a stream where I keep a dog in one fucking place, but I have a hyperactive dog with brain damage, so we had to use a shock collar with him, or he would keep jumping on kids and shit. Um, so whatever the reason is, as long as there was honesty there, I feel like a lot of people I would watch would agree with it. But it's just I don't know if Hassan's that kind of person to he's like a pirate software kind of guy. Like I made no mistakes. What do you mean mistakes? Hassan make no mistakes. Okay, back to video. This is true. This is true. This is true. Which is why, guys, I say if you are ever looking to do something like content creation, you need a foundation of peace, which means you can't adhere to a bunch of bullshit from people in your life. That includes your fucking audience, man. If you're too much of a spineless loser, and whenever you get a little bit of traction, you cave on everyone and all their stupid requests, be it friends, family, whatever, man. um, it's gonna blind you to the reality that the people who are here and will be here when you're gone and you're done with your crazy crash out, they're not gonna say anything to you. They're not gonna do anything to you. They are just here for you, whatever version of you you're gonna put on. And so you have to listen to them, but they're not gonna say anything. They're just here for you, dog. They're not gonna explicitly be out there. It's just like God. God's really not gonna jump in your face and be like, I'm here. Don't worry. Be happy. You have to be very, 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 very quiet to hear the voice of those who really care about you. And a lot of times the socialization that we think is so necessary, that we all need so badly, it's all just distractions and we're not actually talking at each other. And so when you crash out like that, like Hassan's doing, it's because you feel like nobody's listening, and it's because nobody's really talking to each other. Sad but true realities. Sad but true realities. Before we start the video again, I think I'm almost done mixing here, so I might just Okay, 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 okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so real quick, real quick. We'll take a break from Colorgate, and I'll just play this for you all the way through. We'll have a good time with that. And then I think I'll get back to a couple reactions. We might finish this video. I have no idea if we will because I get distracted easily. But after we get done listening to this one, I'll open up a few more and we'll just listen to instrumentals so we can focus on the slop and all that good stuff. Thanks for chilling with me this morning here, guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Everybody, calm down, breathe. If it's at night, go to sleep. If it's in the morning, get up, go to work. If you're not here, you're not here. If you're not alive, you're not alive. All right, let's go.
Flamily shit, bitch. I like cash in my hair to my ass. Do the dash, can you make it go fast? Fuck the fame, all I want is them bands. If she keep on mugging, I'ma still her man. He watching my behavior cause he know I'm bad. Pussy put a spell on him, he in a trance. I do what I please and you do what I ask. He love my confidence and that's what you lack. If you think I'm still in swag, bitch, come and sue me. They watch me like I'm a new movie. His baby mother is my groupie. We got the club going up on a Tuesday. Like a OMG girl, I'm a beauty. If it don't go my way, I get moody. Nigga flexing on you is my duty. I'm the big dog, my nickname is Scooby. Who got beef with me? Girl, you don't wanna compete. I'm too fast on my feet and you know where I be. Making you mad is my specialty. I'm the petty queen, I need you to have a seat. My dad would drill you like a cavity, and he won't let you win on his strategy. Better think twice when you come for our family. Honey, you're gonna cause a fatality. Can't do no broke hoe, they give me allergies. But I know they love my personality. Maybe cause I got a nigga mentality. I'm trying to make $1 million my salary. I might have took an L, but I'm pretty sure nobody could tell. It took me a while to come up out my shell. At least I could say I did it with no help. Bitch, I'm a little savage, I like the real bill. Guess my mama don't like it, she keep raising hell. They know I'm the shit, I wonder if I smell you. Can't take nothing from me, cause this what I built. He say he know me, but it don't ring a bell. Nigga, I'm not buying the dream that you sell. And if you betray me, then you took a L. My pockets felt like that ass, okay, Michelle. Damn, who got beef? I'm trying to find something to eat. If she the up, then bring her to me. I don't give a fuck about her name in these streets. Sit down, ain't no running up on me, bitch, I'm guarded like I'm an Obama. If they hit you, you gon' need your mama. They got heat, they ain't talking no sauna. Look how you don't want no drama.
Random PC sound in there. It's all good. It's all good. All good. All good. All good. All good. Okay. Enough of that. See what I'm gonna try and do. The PC sound was me trying to plug in my HDMI, and it did work. So I think what I'm gonna do here, so that we have visual stimulation. I know how brain dead and attention starved you guys are without video game on screen, right? So let's just open this up. I have my HDMI going here. And although this may be playing no sound, I just have a couple videos on my Switch playing. I'm not actually playing the game, but I figured you guys want to watch things. I know it's fun to watch things. This is the event from a while ago that we did. This is actually one of my favorite things to do with my videos. If you wanted to know why they have so many views, which is like over 3 for a lot of them. It's all me. It's all me, and it's all me watching them on mute because I literally just do this. I put them on my TV. I do watch other things, like I put VTubers and shit on my TV too, but I love doing this. Anyways, back to slop. Back to slop. And I'll load up another instrumental. I'll let you know what we're shaping up next quite soon. But let's see what Dr. K's got to say about streaming.
Not saying that I'm not trying to like support him here. I'm just saying I want y'all to think about when you're 1 week into a period of stress, is your mind producing thoughts that are 100% correct? Okay, so here's the
Hell no.
conversation that I want to talk about.
Stress absolutely annihilates you.
Doing rapes, okay? They're doing rapes, and nothing matters. On the right, it don't matter. This isn't to say that like there shouldn't be a limit. You know what I mean? I'm just saying be a little bit more, exercise a little bit more critical thought. Then be better yourself. Maybe have a dog and it not be a part of your
Oh,
personality.
I love this take. I love this take that he has.
GOP, you're a 40-month subscriber and you think I'm like the grand old party because I won't just sit there and be like, you guys are right. I'm actually abusive to my dog. This is unironically what I was talking about. Like, please exercise a little bit of critical thinking, just a little bit, just for like a second. And I think you will realize that maybe you're not behaving correctly about this. Because if you're a 40-month subscriber, you've been here long enough that you know this is ridiculous.
So here's where we're going to talk about critical thinking for a second. This is why it's so important to mentalize, okay? If a 40-month subscriber who's been around from the beginning thinks that this is sus, I think a huge opportunity for critical thinking is for you to take a step back and think about how does this person arrive at this conclusion, right? And this goes back to like this diagram over here, which is like if there's like a 40-month subscriber who's over here and doesn't think that what you're doing is like okay, telling them to exercise critical thinking is fine. You can do that. But this is, I think, a great opportunity for critical thinking because how is it that someone who
Right.
has been here, right? The key question for me in this scenario is how is
And that's a crazy thing to say, man. It's like so many people like to point fingers, but it's very, very hard to be like, man, I led you on for 40 months and I apologize for you to think that I am this kind of person. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy that I've fucked this man up that hard. You know? Nobody says that. Nobody says that. You know, and for me, for anybody who does subscribe to me and unsubscribe, because people do unsubscribe even at this low level of channel, because I have such a polarizing opinion about nothing, which is basically everything. But yeah, it's all your fault. You know, it always is. And I apologize for everyone who unsubscribes and subscribes because I am constantly gonna piss you off. And if you don't like that, you should probably unsub. You should probably hide the channel, like I do with a lot of people that piss me off. It's not energy that you actually need, and it's all about you. It's all about you. Most problems are, most insults that you throw at people are, most virtue signaling bullshit that you do for people are, because, you know, it's all for, of course, the clout on the internet, but in real life, it's for like the social standing or stature, you know, some invisible hierarchy that we can't really see that you're trying to adhere to and become the best at. And in all, you know, no one's gonna solve it for you. You're not gonna get one of your friends to just suddenly say, oh yeah, you're not a bad person, and then everybody else is just going to follow suit. You know, you have to become that in yourself and then portray it, and then maybe eventually 8 years down the line, that motherfucker's gonna turn over a new leaf and be like, maybe he's different. You know, it just has nothing to do with you, this other guy's opinion. So I hate it when people jump in arguments and are like, oh, you just gotta use your brain more. Why aren't you using your brain more, guy? I'm like, why don't you use your fucking brain more and make a better argument? It's annoying. Also, guys, I really, you saw me put this up to 2 again. I'm such a attention spanless gooner. I have to go back to 2. 1.5 is way too slow for me. This is also why I like to use the TV, and I don't have, what do you call it? YouTube Pro, YouTube, what is it called? Gold, Red, YouTube Sub, YouTube 4-man, I don't know what it's called. Because yeah, I had to watch it on normal speed on the TV, and if I could go 4x speed, I feel like my brain would just be fried completely. I would die internally and externally from content overload. You should not be developing this much content, by the way, guys. This is why I'm here on the fucking streaming webs. It's not for publicity. It's to get all this fucking stupid information I have in my head out somewhere, so that at least maybe, you know, 10 years or so down the line, I can look at the videos and be like, ah, yes, that is what I said. How stupid, how meaningless, very cool, very wow. Anyways, over on the FL Studio front, Jesus Christ, my rants are so long, man. This is why I need 2x speed. My rants are too fucking long. Over here on the mashup side, we have Legend Has It. So I'm gonna make sure this volume is pretty low, and we're just gonna, yeah, it's pretty low. And we're just gonna play this while we listen to Dr. K, because he doesn't have music in his videos. What a wonderful thing. Okay. Mhm. Mhm. For a lot of people, for me included, um, yeah, for a lot of people, for me included too. I'm not exempt to this. It really comes to just a wait or not. You know, because everybody can do this. Everybody can think critically when they're attacked, of course, duh. But if you don't wait and you just respond immediately, it's so much harder to not get defensive. It's so much harder. So, on some extent, I understand when, Hassan is like getting all this backlash during the stream that it happened. And he's like, I'm just not going to respond. And then he responds after. I kind of get that, right? Because when you wait to respond, usually you can think about it. You can come in with a little bit of critical thinking, yada yada yada. Now, what I don't approve of is the fact that he, it seems like he didn't think and he did it in a weird, awkward way and yada yada yada. But yeah, it's just a funny reality that all you really have to do, because your mind will naturally do this. It'll level itself out. It'll put itself into the logical state if you just wait. So for all you stupid tweeters, deleters, fetus meters, seal beaters, just fucking write the tweet, draft the tweet, but don't send it. For like, I don't care how long the pause is, man. As long as it's a pause, maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 fucking seconds. But train the habit to just write a tweet and then press the back button and then leave it in drafts and then close Twitter. And then you pause and then you send it. That's it. People do not do this one vital step. And I feel like if we all just had, like, if Twitter was just like, nope, you get a 5-second cooldown per tweet, or whatever the fuck they would do to implement, everyone make them do this. But yeah, the critical thinking is a thing, because when people respond to bullshit like that, especially when it's someone who added them and talked to them or whatever, it's just like me, that I have to stop myself from rapidly responding to the comments, especially like people don't comment all the time. And when they do, usually it's really funny stuff, because literally all I make is art and these random rants about life and how horrible it is. But yeah, when I get comments, I get very excited, and I have to literally stop myself, because I feel like the first reaction of what I do will just be, elevated levels of cringe that nobody really needs to see, especially me, because I'm gonna be the one looking over and reading these comments over and over and over again. So I have to literally stop myself. Sometimes I'll like it. Sometimes I'll leave my signature creator like. Yeah. If you've ever wondered if creators like me who have like 0 subscribers, I'm just kidding. We have 83. We're rolling good. We're rolling good. Twitch, I love you as well. I really don't care about the followers over there. I think I have like 10. But yeah, I do like my own comments using the regular like, and I don't do it all at the same time. If you're a small creator on YouTube, you should know too. Like your videos at different times, wait till peak times to like them. Because I feel like most people are just mob mentality gooners, you know what I'm saying? They'll like it when somebody else likes it. They'll like it when they saw the video there and they watched it, and then they just see the video again and it now has 1 like. They're like, oh shit, somebody liked the shit that I watched before. I'm gonna like it too. It's that kind of thing. So don't, I wouldn't say don't do this immediately. Of course you have to like all your stuff, no matter what. But, don't worry about struggling and engaging in all your content as soon as it gets put out. It's for me at least, a lot of the stuff I make is evergreen, that I feel like I could come back to in a couple of years and it'd still be pretty fun to watch. Maybe not the old playthroughs where I really didn't know how to make the Dragon Quest footage look purty like in here. I think this is at least close to the era where I was doing 4K in all my videos. I don't think this video is 4K though. But now I do 4K in all my videos, and I try to talk about topics that will just last us the next maybe 10, 20 years. And that's just about life, about communication, and about this general culture that we all have to be actively surveilled 24/7. It's pretty bad nowadays, honestly. It's pretty detrimental to your mental health. But a lot of people think that this is the meta, like to get famous and to get money and to get clout and respect especially. Because if you go deep down onto what this loneliness generation has brought for men, it's a lot of lack of respect, and I feel like that's what a lot of people want. Like of course you want to be understood, but I feel like a lot of people would be fine being misunderstood if people at least respected them. It's like, I don't get that guy, but I respect his shit. If you got that sort of environment more, you'd be so okay being alone. And that's what I've started to get a lot, and that's why I'm very okay with being alone. I'm very fine with people not understanding what the fuck is going on here. I don't understand what the fuck is going on here. But we got to keep going. We have to keep going for the sake of clarity, for the sake of love, for the sake of this retarded streamer culture that we have here. The show must go on. The show indeed must go on. So that's what I'm doing. I'm rolling it. You know, I'm rolling in it, and I am rolling it, as in rolling the fucking footage, because we really need just some real life shit here. You know, so some real life shit on this platform. Right now, it just seems like everybody's not talking to each other. They're just talking to themselves in different forms, you know? And it sucks when we're all yelling at the other side. Like it would be different if nobody from whatever camp is not Hassan's camp, the right camp or whatever the fuck you want to call it. If everyone from that camp was just staying in their circle and not worrying about Hassan, it'd be a whole different story. But we're actively corroborating and running over and farming content from these other guys on the other side, but not actually speaking to them or even to their audience. It's crazy. Like, we need to have conversations with the people around us, and it's insane how this year of the truth has been telling us. Charlie Kirk's been telling us. The people who are supposedly the good people don't want to have the conversations. The people who are supposedly the bad people, you know, don't want to have the right conversations. It's a weird world we live in. We're living in clown world, you know, and everybody with a brain gets actively suppressed because it's like, you're not supposed to have a brain, man. Look how good life is. Don't think. Let the rich get richer. Let the rich succeed. They're just poor rich people. Goodness gracious, man. Let's get back to Dr. K, because I have no idea what I'm talking about at this point.
You're smart, you're dumb. And that is not working, y'all. It's just
Oh,
not working.
man.
This is why dialogue, as we've seen.
That was crazy that I literally just jumped back in on that. I definitely don't think I'm smart and you're dumb, but I do think I'm dumb and you're probably smart. You're smart because you found this crazy video from nowhere. So I feel like that's a pretty smart guy thing. But that's hilarious that I started it right there.
A decline in dialogue, we see more things like this, with shots fired, followed by defenses, followed by tribal thinking, followed by defense versus attack. Now it's us versus them. There's no like, hey, can we sit down and try to figure out what's like going on? How is this for you? Like, what's going on with you? Like, you know, everyone feels this way. Like, what do you think about that? Like, there's no dialogue. And then we get to, I think, the weird stuff. Okay, now this is where there's something weird in the air that is hard for me to describe. But I think there's a lot of protection, there's a lot of displacement. You know, this 78K, like, this blows my mind. And Hassan is like, hey, there's genocide going on, right? There's all kinds of problems in the world. And it's not just a genocide. There's like, you know, American, like, rural hospitals in America are closing down. Like, there's still conflict in Israel and Palestine. There's a lot of like weird stuff happening in the U.S. There's war between Ukraine and Russia. There are problems in the EU.
You know what, guys? I think, and this is actually going to be so hilarious, if true. Hilarious if true, but I think it is true. I don't think I've been listening to this Dr. K video in the actual video here. Hold on, let me look at my sound mixer. Active sources, yes, Mike. Yeah, I don't think I have it. That's fucking hilarious to me. I hope it's hilarious to you as well. I'm not restarting the video. I might start another reaction, but see, that's what happens when you have this advanced Gooner brain mindset that you have to focus on 8 million things at once. You actually get nothing done. It's hilarious how that works, but it's sad but true. Let me see here. Can I add an audio source? How do you add audio sources in Prism Studio? Let's figure out how to do that. You and me, buddy. Let's figure out how to do that. Add that. Audio output. Just add that. Let's go Chrome. Chromety Chrome. Why is everything Chrome? Chrome audio. And before I test this, I'm just gonna see if the audio is coming out already. Oh, you know, it's just speakers, Yeti speakers, I guess. Oh, I'll go headphones actually. Headphones. Okay. So first of all, let me mute this, and then I will just see if this is actually coming out of the stream real quick. I'm gonna play the video, and I'm gonna watch the stream in a little bit.
And they fucking drag their finance minister through the streets and like whipped him and stuff like that. Like, there's all kinds of stuff going on. And this is what we get really focused on, right? So for the people who are like hammering Hassan, why is it that it is so important important to see that this guy is brought to justice about this issue. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Like, why is there such a intense desire to see this outcome resolved in a particular way? Do y'all get, like, that's a little bit weird? Like, what is our investment as a community in this? Are we suddenly, like, super pro animal rights?
Yo, that's actually hilarious. The video has not been playing the entire time, and I look like a damn goober. But I love these streams. I love these streams to just test things out, to see how things actually work. I didn't want to go live today anyway, so I'm glad we've produced some slop content for you, some sloppa loppa, some sloppa wappa. But nevertheless, I did figure it out now. Dr. K, I feel like I've done you a disservice, my friend. So I will indeed listen to the full video. I might grab one of these other videos where the ADHD kills lust too. We all know, you know, how to get out of the goon cycle is to just do something else. You can't just stop masturbating. You have to actually replace it with something. Hopefully it's something that responds back to you, because a lot of the times the whole gooning crisis thing is just because we have no one to talk to. We have no one to connect to. People don't realize that sex is really for communication. Of course, there's the whole production part of it, but you understand a lot about someone if you do it right. You know, if you fuck them right. But no, just in general, man. Like any kind of physical activity. You know, sports are communication. You know, music is communication. You know, watching a movie together is communication. But yeah, people don't have anybody to talk to, and it's because of shit like this, man. Because we're taught that you know, stable and healthy communication is on stream chats or between text messages or on a dating app, and this is not where you're supposed to have them. You're supposed to have them sitting right in front of each other. You know, doing their thing, breathing and loving and flowing, and understanding how they're feeling in the moment, depending on, you know, how they are reacting to what you're saying, your body language, your whatever, the small nuances of the way your mouth moves, and all that bullshit. But yeah, we're very starved for that because of the low trust society thing. It's all by design. If you're not at least a little bit angry about it, you should probably get a little bit more aware. And if you are angry about it, then, you know, world's very easy. So do something about it. You are living on easy mode. Make it hard for yourself. Make it hard for yourself. The whole reason why we're here in this mess, in this conundrum, in this horrible dating crisis, monetary crisis, financial crisis, housing crisis, all this shit, is because everybody decided, hey man, I'm just gonna sit back and let the world work for me. You know, everything's on easy mode. I can Postmates it all. I don't care, man. I don't need to leave the house. Fuck it. That's why it all happens. So make life harder. I don't care how it is. I don't care what it is. Out-train your depression, man. Bring the pain. Bring the pain. You don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. though. That would be a little bit weird. Don't be weird, right? Don't be weird, or else no one will like you. Okay, let me stop. We finally have audio, so I'm gonna play this video back here. Where did I start? Where did I start in this damn thing? I think I started over here. Mentalization. That's so funny. Okay, so no, I started at mixed messages. Well, we'll go back to mentalization because we didn't go over this part. All right, let me make sure this is actually coming out through the stream real quick, and I'll be back in a second.
Going to talk about mentalization, okay? So this is going to be really challenging, okay? It's going to be so fucking simple, but it's going to be really challenging. Now, here's the interesting thing. When I make this video, at the end of this video, there's a really good chance, actually not even at the end, already, there's a good chance that if you're a pro-Hasan person, you dislike what I'm saying. If you're an anti-Hasan person, you dislike what I'm saying. By the end of this video, there's a really good chance that people on both sides of the conflict will really dislike me, okay? And we're going to understand why right here and right now. Let's say you're Hasan. And let's say, for a moment, that you are not abusive to your dog. Let's just assume this for a moment, okay? So Hasan loves Kaya, which is not mutually exclusive with abuse, by the way, which we can talk about if you want to, but is kind, does not use shock collar. Let's just assume for a moment. Now, the first thing that I want y'all to do is notice your reaction to this. So here's what I've learned. Here at Healthy Gamer, we work with over 500 creators. I'm a creator myself. And one of the craziest things that we encounter time and time again is like once the internet starts to believe something, first of all, how little information they have, right? And let's understand like why this happens. So a week ago, if I upload a clip of Hasan being nice to his dog, what do y'all think happens to that clip? Let's get fucking down to the video. Okay, now let's understand why. So what does the internet love more than anything else? This is a separate point. The first thing that the internet loves is a delta, is a change. So why is Collargate such a big deal? It's because Hasan is not known as an animal, right? So Hasan's like platform is about minorities. It's about supporting the people who are like, you know, he's like a leftist, like so he's like, you know, people, we gotta like look out for the underdogs and we gotta take care of everybody and like people empower the bad guys. I may be misrepresenting it. I apologize if I am. I'm trying to just summarize and move on because I'm not so interested in the platform. But what the internet loves more than anything else is a delta. So anytime you have someone who's perceived as good, who does something bad, the internet is gonna love it. And anytime you have someone who's bad, who does something good, the internet is gonna pay attention, right? And that's just the way that our brain works. We like novelty, and any kind of change is important. So I'm gonna show y'all a paper real quick. The effective adaptation on differential brightness discrimination. This paper is great. It's from 1938, y'all, in Journal of Physiology. Like back when there was just a Journal of Physiology. not like cardiac physiology, not like kidney physiology. Like basically this paper talks about how human beings are more sensitive to changes. So like basically this paper is looking at the eye, okay? And it basically says like, look, when the eye is used to seeing darkness and it sees light, it like notices a lot more. So there's this really interesting principle in human beings where like basically if there's some kind of change, that's something we're really sensitive to. So if I'm in a relationship with someone and they suddenly stop responding to my texts, I'm gonna be hypersensitive to that. If like there's a very, very loud room where like everyone's like laughing and like hanging out and whatever, and suddenly things go silent, I'm very sensitive to that. So human beings, our brains are wired to be sensitive to change, okay? But let's get back to this other.
Indeed we are. Indeed we are. You were probably pretty sensitive to the change in the fact that the video is actually playing, and we're doing the thing that the stream is actually meant to do. You know, listening to music and doing the thing. All right. So let me stop talking about my transgressions and my lack of knowledge. But the funny thing about this is, yeah, we do notice big changes. A lot of people notice small changes. Ergo me. But that's just because I really can't stop being in my head as far as that comes, you know, and then we, you know, he's gonna get into it, but we're always equating these changes to, you know, some sort of divine purpose or meaning in life or whatever, and blah blah blah, connecting it to connecting it and connecting it to connecting it. And as smart as I may be, as smart as you may be, as smart as whoever we may think we are, there's always some variable of human shit that we can't fucking just see using our world models. I mean, honestly, you could make 1 million world models over 1 million things over your 1 million years of life and still be surprised by some new shit, some new variable that you had no idea would come for the scenario you're trying to predict, and thus be wrong. And when you realize that, you realize that it's just not that deep. Whatever attack or insult or whatever is attacking you, coming for you, you know, you think you can explain, yada yada yada, there's always a logical explanation for it and an interesting, you know, cooperation or, you know, thing for them to elaborate on, depending on, you know, what they take in from that. But you can't take stock. You can't take stock or stack or stook of that bullshit. You just have to keep moving. Moving forward is the main thing. And for once, Hasan tried to do that with this. And of course, the one time he tries to just move on, it just doesn't fucking work.
Other Hasan. So here's the sequence, okay? So let's assume for a moment that Hasan does not use a shock collar. He uses a vibrating collar, that he loves his dog, okay? That he treats his dog well. Let's assume that this is true. Now, he says his story is it's not a shock collar, it's a vibrating collar, it's part of our training, etc., etc., etc. Now, what happens is that there's two groups, one that believes this and one that disbelieves this. Now, once you form a judgment, this is the really scary thing. So then everyone gets upset about this clip, and people form opinions. And then what happens, you know, there's this clip. Now we're in an interesting situation, because if you're close to Hasan, and you know the guy, and you know that, like, this is true, right? Like, I've seen Hasan, I'm not just basing things on a 37-second clip from the internet. I've known this guy for years, he's a friend of mine, I see the way that he treats Kaya. People like Ray showed up, and they're like, this is the most loved dog in the world, right? And so they're saying things like this. So then what happens is, like, his friends, right? Like, people, like, defend him. And it's not even clear, like, I don't think that they're necessarily, like, defending him. I think they're just saying, hey, people on the internet who watched a 37-second clip, we know this guy, we've spent hours, days with him and his dogs, he is not like this is a poor representation. Now, here's the really important thing. So when a human being does something, there are reasons they do something. There are psychological drivers. There are emotional drivers that lead to the behavior. So mentalization is the process of understanding when a human being does something, what are the psychological drivers that are actually driving them? And then even within ourselves, when I do this thing, why do I do this thing, right? What is psychologically driving me to engage in this behavior? This is something that we become so fucking decrepit at. Like, we suck at this. And I'll give you all an illustrative example, okay? So let's say I'm someone who has a very high level of insecurity, I'm somewhat narcissistic, and I'm getting married. And then my BFF, who I haven't seen in 2 years, shows up a month before the wedding for her bridesmaid fitting, and I've noticed, oh crap, she has lost so much weight and she looks so great. And in the meantime, I've been in a steady relationship for the last 5 years. I've let myself go a little bit. A few years ago when we were in college, she used to be a little bit overweight and I was like a regular weight, and now she's really kind of gotten her shit together, and like I've kind of let myself go, and then I feel bad, right? Our positions have reversed. And so if I'm not careful, what I will do is I'll say, oh my god, she lost weight to make me look bad. And then
Like, that's what's so fucking annoying, though. It's not about you. It never is about you. Even when people unsubscribe to me on this channel, unfollow me on this channel, I have to realize it's not about me. It never is. It's about them. It always is about them. And I've noticed this very, very early on because I was someone who got insulted a lot in school. I'm talking a lot. Why? Because it was fun to insult me. Because I knew what that did to people.
Stop.
It literally just tells me your weaknesses. It's like, oh, you're insulting me on that? Oh, you're insulting me for being a tall guy. You're insulting me for being nerdy. You're insulting me for being happy. Oh, you're insulting me because I'm happy sometimes and sad sometimes. It all just gives away what they are insecure about. And so my reactions to that were always positive. Sometimes people would insult me and I'd be like, thank you. Oh my gosh, you're so nice. You're so kind. And nobody would get it, but they would just try. And even still to this day, you know what somebody said to me in my last fucking job? My last fucking job, somebody was like, I can't even remember the exact wording. It was like, I can never get you, or is it ever possible to get you, or catch you off guard or something? or you know, catch you in a whoa moment or something like, I don't know. It was like I'll never be able to get one up over you or something like that. And I'm like, just why do you want that? You know, what did I bring onto you for you to want to destroy me? And it's nothing. It literally is about them. They have this fear, or you know, maybe an insecurity, that somebody wants to take them down, or somebody's looking for ways to shoot them down. It may even be me, the one that they're fearful of. But that's the thing, guys. You have to realize all these insults and all these things or whatever, and all these predictions that you make about other people, they point the finger right back at you. So, I'm not saying don't have those thoughts. You're not gonna stop those thoughts. But do the pause. Do the tactical pause. It helps a lot. It helps a lot, especially with a lot of the social media stuff, which is all of our fucking life nowadays. It helps a lot to just say, hey man, maybe we'll take a step back and truly analyze our choices a little bit. Understand why we are doing the crash out. Do the dash out, crash out, because you really don't need to. You really don't need to at any time. Now, a change is necessary a lot of times if you want to grow, but you have to realize that's not everybody's goal. Who wants to fucking grow into some paranormal, parasocial, you know, paranoid idiot who basically is a slave to his own art? Not everybody wants that. You know, I realize this is not the ideal life for every fucking American, Japaneseian. That was not a word. That was not a word. And now I've forgotten what people from Japan are. Anyways, that was a huge brain fart for me. But yeah, not everybody wants the life of somebody who just posts online or has a lot of clout or is a movie star or an entertainer. You know, you have to realize what you like to do is just what you like to do. But a lot of people think what they like to do is being performative. And I'm just letting you guys know, a lot of people don't like performing, at least for, you know, people that they don't understand or things that they don't care about. Now, if you care about something, of course you're gonna like performing for it, whether that be a person, a lover, a thing, an entity, a specific genre of music. You know, if you like the thing, you like the thing, right? But you don't have to be a slave to it. You know, you could perfectly fine and perfectly normal to live your life just as a normal classic worker. And it didn't used to be insulting to people, you know, to be like, oh, how dare you be a factory worker all your life? Imagine somebody said that in 1970s. What the fuck? Who are you? Who are you, really? What is wrong with you? But that's how it is nowadays. And it's like, oh, you don't make 100K because you work at McDonald's? Ugh. I'm like, bro, it's so disgusting too. When I've had these stupid, horrible retail jobs with people who hate their lives, and I've had fun at them, and I've met people I love at them, and I've met soulmates, best friends, I've learned things that I would never learn anywhere else. I've met customers that I've grown bonds with at all of these places. You know, I've learned skills that I use today at all these places, all these random offhand jobs that, you know, everybody seems to fucking hate. And I'm just like, it's so unnecessary to actively insult people or berate other people or just have all these thoughts about people berating you when in reality you just have to. I mean, I don't think it's great to hold everything in, but people just don't need to know. All this feckless, useless socializing has ruined us, and I think it has a lot to do with streamer chats. A lot of streamer chats, you don't need to be in there just typing away, wasting your fucking finger juice, you know, and that's not really communicating. People trick themselves into thinking that's the thing. It's like when people have goals and they tell all their friends their goals, and then that makes them think that they did their goals. The Twitch chat typing is making you think you're socializing, but you are not socializing. You're destroying your fucking brain cells. Anyways, here's Hair Down by Sir. A little bit of Earthbound.
I start coming up with all of these excuses for her to no longer be a bridesmaid. But if I do not have insight into these driving factors, like it doesn't make sense, right? So, and this is where there's a failure of mentalization, because this person in this situation, I don't think for a moment about why would this person lose weight. I don't consider that they have all kinds of reasons outside of what my mind automatically produces. That there are actions and then there are reasons for those actions. But my mind produces some hypothesis like, oh, she's trying to make me look bad, which by the way is emotional, remember that, right? But there are all kinds of reasons why people could be doing this. And what I see in Colorgate is a whole-scale failure of mentalization, okay? And we're gonna explain that. I'm gonna walk you all through it. So let's go back here. Yo, this is the truth, friends of Hasan, right? Now here's the scary thing. When we have these clips of people saying this is what's crazy. They're the people who believe Hassan, who are like, yes, right? They look at this, and based on their mentalization, they sort of accept this. And then we have the people who are the disbelievers, okay? And the disbelievers look at this, in this very simple action, they don't think like, oh, these people actually have spent thousands of hours with Hassan and Kaya. Maybe they know more than we do, right? That's not what they think. What do they think, chat? Do you see how one action gets interpreted by two groups of people in a completely different way, right? And this is where we got to talk about something for a second. And if it sounds like I'm defending Hassan, I'm really not, right? We're gonna get to like all the people who criticize him and stuff in a second. But I just want y'all to know, like, so there is a perspective where it's like, okay, like I'm not abusive to my dog. But then let's think about Hassan's perspective. Let's just imagine for a fucking second that he is not abusive to his dog. What is he supposed to do? Okay, so then we get to these clips, right? So then a day later, Hassan shows the collar, and he's like, look, here's the collar that I used.
The charging port and the texture of the...
Okay, and then Lonerbox shows up, and he's like, look, this looks like this model.
This one.
He examines it, and he's like, basically, this is a shock collar. So this is what Lonerbox says. Now, remember, we're trying to mentalize here, so we're trying to put ourselves in Hassan's shoes, and we're assuming, because we don't really know, right? We weren't there. We don't know. If you think this is sufficient evidence to crack a case, that's totally fine. I'm not commenting on that. But my point is that, like, if you're Hassan, and you're not using a shock collar, what are you supposed to do, right? Like, what action can you take? And this is what we've learned working with so many streamers, is that, like, when you get railroaded, like, there's really not much you can do, because people are, even some of the stuff where people are like, okay, you know, people are coming out and quote-unquote defending you, but someone saying, hey, this guy didn't do this, gets interpreted as like, oh my god, this guy is like, he's like bullying all these people into defending him. That could be true. I'm not saying it isn't, but I'm not saying it is. You'll see what I'm kind of getting at here, is that there's one piece of evidence which, based on your narrative interpretation, gets like put into one area or the other area, right? So like someone coming out and actually saying, hey, this is not a shock collar. Like I hang out with the guy, I've seen it a bunch, he doesn't shock his dog, I'm with him all the time. And then the believers are gonna say yes, and the disbelievers are gonna say no, they're gonna say he's whipped. So my point is not whether this is true or not true, okay? It's about the differential reactions based on the narrative that is already in our head. And now we get to a really, really scary issue, which is that if this is true, right? If you don't want to believe it, that's okay. Just listen to what I'm saying. Don't worry about this particular thing. If this is true, and the disbelievers are discounting it, then what do we do? And this is what we see, not just here, we see this in politics all the time, right? This piece of data does not fit with my narrative, therefore I'm going to say that this data is invalid. And once I say this data is invalid, how is anyone ever going to change their mind? Do y'all see what I'm saying here? This is like, I kid y'all not, this is why there's war, strife, and problems, political unrest, male-female dynamics. This is the problem. Like, this is the most dangerous thing on the planet. If I'm a dude alive today and I say, hey, I'm struggling, and people say, I'm discounting that because you are privileged, that's why men have a super high suicide rate. If I'm a woman today and I'm saying, hey, it is not safe for me to walk around, and we say, oh, it's safe, and if you get raped, it's your fault, like, that's the problem. It is fundamentally, it's not, I'm not anti any of these views, or I'm not trying to take a side here. What I'm trying to point out, and this is why I'm talking about this in the first place, is like the biggest problem in the world today is when someone speaks up with something that is contrary to what we believe, we just discount it. We talk across each other. So we each of us, like, you know, I'm saying this is good, you're saying this is bad, and instead of like talking and discussing and understanding, I'm not understanding why you think it's bad. Wait, why do you think this is bad? Let me try to understand. You're not trying to understand. Wait, this is good? I'm confused. Instead, what we do is we talk to our base, and then we end up moving in this direction because we're not listening to each other at all. That's one scenario. But the other scenario is that Hassan uses, right? This is possible. It's a possibility, right? And there's like, you know, you have to make your own judgment on the evidence. Like this, like I watched this 51-second clip and I was like, damn, right? And then it's like, looks like Lonerbach cracked the case. Like even the framing of the video seems really, really like damning, okay? And then there's all kinds of other problems. Like one problem is like, and then there's this kind of contextual stuff, right? Where we see him doing things like this. So this builds a narrative of like he's just, you know, he seems to get mad at his dogs a lot. Like pulling a dog by the tail, big no. That's like part of their vertebra, if I remember correctly. I'm not a veterinarian, okay? I'm a psychiatrist. But like this like looks really bad, right? So this is kind of scary stuff. And the way that he reacts to her in that clip where he's clearly frustrated with her, right? So there's really strong evidence, quote unquote, right? So there's historic evidence. Let's say I'm gonna call it frustration or abuse. I don't know if this is how abusive this is. I don't know about the treatment of animals from a professional sense. So is this I think it's, it scares me when I see that. I had 3 German Shepherds growing up. I would never do that to my German Shepherds, right? Like I wouldn't do that to them. But I don't know, maybe it's okay. I don't know, right? And if y'all know more about dogs and you want to form a judgment on that, that's totally fine. Then there's things like the Loner Box, okay? Who's like looking at the shock collar, and then we get to one of my favorites, all the mixed messages. So then what happens, and this is really where there's like narrative really creates real problems. So people are saying, okay, so Cutie said this. She said, oh my god, like it's had the shock collar prongs removed. Someone else is saying, oh my god, there were never shock collars, there was never prongs on there. Somebody else is saying this, somebody else is saying this. And when people see mixed messages, they, once again, remember, there's a narrative interpretation based on what you already believe. So when two human beings offer different stories to a particular thing, your interpretation is that they're lying. I hate to break it to y'all. Could they be lying? Absolutely. But I think what's far more common is that human beings and people are like, oh, why didn't you just show the collar then and there? Right? People will say all of these things on the internet. They're like, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do this? Okay, let me ask y'all something. When you're like doing your day job and something weird happens that you don't expect, and you're kind of frustrated, right? You're clearly not in a good mood, and then you kind of lash out, and then you're like, you don't think it's that big of a deal, right? So I don't think you thought it was that big of a deal. Like, do y'all know, like when you make a mistake, do you immediately know? Or does like a day go by, 2 days go by, and you're like, oh shit, I should have said that. I should have done that. I didn't realize in that moment, like I should have really done this. And
this is what I was talking about before. Once again, for me, you know, normal people would be like, oh no, after the stream I noticed I wasn't playing the music, or I wasn't playing the video, but you know, see me, I just noticed in the middle of the video, and I can make jokes about it, laugh about it, because I understand that being an idiot is actually a huge buff in life. If you're an idiot, god damn, I wish I was you. I mean, I am you. Oh no, my smart, it's showing, no. But seriously, guys, when bad things happen, even in work or those situations, I am like the best at target defusal, you know, because I just don't care about my own pride. I have 0 of it. I've destroyed that shit because everybody keeps breaking me down, and I realize that being at the bottom just means I can grow and rise above it. And I do recognize when a lot of people do, you know, feel my energy and recognize that I am above that. I can stay in that pride, and modesty is not something you should sit in forever. But making those mistakes, is something that you can't account for. And I understand, man. We do weird shit all the time. But what people's true complaints are about the Hassan situation and shit is that he made the mistake, and it didn't feel like he openly and honestly came up and was like, oh guys, I'm sorry I made that mistake. It sounded like he pirate softwared it and was like, okay guys, stop being stupid. We all make mistakes. Okay, you suck your dog, you suck your dog. It doesn't matter. Stop being so immature. You know, it's what it sounded like he did, right? And whenever you tackle a problem like that, it's always gonna raise some fucking eyebrows. Especially, like, how can you not raise your eyebrows when you have people like Jellywig coming out with these two crazy takes, man? Like, I don't understand. Like, on my mother's life, it's definitely a shot caller. He did it, but I don't know. And then he comes back and he's like, well, guys, remember how I said slightly, I don't know? That's hilarious to me. That is actually hilarious to me.
I backflipped all the way up here.
Ah, I have to fucking edit this thing so damn much. All right. But anyways, that's my take on it. Let's go back to video because I have to edit the damn song again.
My favorite example of this is when I was in school growing up, kids would make fun of me. And then like 36 hours later, they'd say, oh yeah, I'll look such a fucking loser. Like, go back home and play your Nintendo. Can't catch a ball, butterfingers. And then like, I'd go back home and 36 hours later, I'd be like, man, I got the perfect comeback. So in that moment, like, we don't think properly. In fact, we think improperly when we're stressed, right? But when people see that, okay, he's showing the collar the next day, and like in that window, could it have been doctored? Absolutely. I'm not saying that it couldn't have been doctored. I'm not saying that he did. It is a shock collar, isn't a shock collar. What I'm saying, and this is what's so hard for human beings, there is a differential diagnosis for a situation. See, when a patient comes into my office and I think one thing, the whole point of medical training is like, I think this is what happened, but I could be wrong. Like, I think you've got COVID, but maybe you've got cancer. Maybe it's an allergy. Maybe it's an autoimmune disease. So we are formally trained to think through multiple possibilities. This we do not see on the internet. Depending on what your narrative is, you jump to a conclusion, right? You just jump to a conclusion. So people say like, oh, there's mixed messages and people are lying. Like, no. So I want y'all to think about fucking the last time you and your roommates argued about the dishes. If I were to go and interview all through 3 roommates who did the most dishes, I get 3 different answers. Does that mean that people are lying and trying to do a cover-up? No, people just have their own individual flawed memory, their perception of things, they're representing that. It doesn't mean that there's some kind of conspiracy or that people are lying or trying to cover up or anything like that. I think human beings sometimes, I know it sounds insane, human beings sometimes make contrary statements. Keep in mind that even though I'm saying all this stuff, I'm not commenting on whether Hassan used a shock collar or didn't use a shock collar. I have no idea. Okay, I don't know. I wasn't there, right? And so you're allowed to believe what you want to believe if you think that all of this evidence against him, that, you know, people are saying this and like the Loner Box video, like this is what the shock collar is, that he has this historic narrative of like being at least callous towards animals, if not abusive. I don't really know, right? So it doesn't look good. And that's when we get to another issue, which is selection bias, right? So when these things kind of happen, so I don't know if y'all, I once had a patient that got accused of not really sexual misconduct, but was like harassing one of the female employees. But the moment that happens, the whole narrative changes. The moment that happens, everyone is like, oh yeah, like they were such a creep. There was that one day in the break room where like, you know, they sat next to me and they like started sneezing and then they like dropped their phone and like maybe they were taking a picture of like what was under my skirt or something like that. Like the moment that there's a narrative that gets formed, we start populating all of these clips, right? So how many hours of material is there of Hassan interacting with Kaya? And are any of the positive things what's gonna get upvoted is the most damning clips. Now, just because what's going to get upvoted is the most damning clips does not mean that those clips aren't true. Maybe that's true, right? I'm not saying it isn't true. What I'm saying is like, remember, this is not about Hassan, this is about the world that we live in. What gets propagated? What gets upvoted to the top? The stuff that tends to fit our narrative. So I think this is a really good example of why we should mentalize more, right? Instead of just jumping to a conclusion, we should try to put ourselves in Hassan's shoes and ask yourself for a moment, if this was not a shock collar, what is he supposed to say or what is he supposed to do? Let's assume he's innocent. Is there anything he could say would alleviate the suspicions of the people who think is there any option? And this is an interesting, I sometimes will have political discussions, like not often, but you know, and one of the things that I will ask people, one of my favorite questions in politics is what would have to happen for you to stop supporting this person, right? What would actually change your mind? And that's why the answer to that question is why I think politics is like has a serious problem. Because the truth of the matter is that very few things, like if you ask someone what would actually change your mind, you realize how far radicalized they become. That it would take something incredibly monumental once a narrative forms in your head. So if you're
And that's crazy to me. Like, it didn't take a lot for me to, like, fucking completely disavow Obama. It was basically after he fucking got in office. And, you know, it didn't take a lot for me to say, hey, man, Trump's really not that bad. Honestly. Like, I'm being real, guys. Like, it's 1 or 2 policies for me to just be like, eh. But I don't have too much of a strong opinion either way, which is why I can flip-flop so easily like that. And a lot of people call me horrible things because I do shit like that. And that's just why I just don't care to give my fucking opinions, man. I don't give a shit. I really don't. And I really just look for what aids me the most. And a lot of times I don't vote because of this. It's because, you know, a lot of things are just too gray for me. And when I don't know information, I just say I don't know. And that's okay to not know and still be like, but this is how I feel. If people were more honest about that, I feel like we'd be able to have more logical conversations about, you know, what's going on in the world and how to react to things. But because of that bullshit, we can't look. Let me show you guys a picture. This is actually fucking hilarious. This is actually fucking hilarious, but what the hell happened to my FL Studio? Did that destroy everything? No, it's fine. We're good here. We're good here. I didn't mean to close that down. But what's so funny is we are so ideologically captured by all these crazy problems and shit that everybody's like, have an opinion on this, and I'm just like, bro, I'm losing my fucking mind. I can't have an opinion on everything. But what's really funny about this is I saw oh my goodness, where is this? I can't see the fucking window now. Is this it? I don't think that's it. That's just my Windows Media Player. It's my File Explorer. Maybe I'm in the wrong thing. Maybe you need to open up display capture. No, I don't want to capture my display. Let me get an image. Image. No. Fuck me, dude. Oh, and now that's frozen. Now it's fantastic. Well, I'll figure out how to get the picture up. But yeah, essentially, moral of the story: we have too much bullshit to worry about to be concerned with the complex intricacies of all these stupid bullshit problems that don't matter. Really, don't matter. We have to get creative on, you know, how to. Ooh, excuse me. Be fulfilled in life in general, instead of all the bullshit and having a solid, nuanced opinion on shit that doesn't explicitly and intrinsically affect your life right now. It's not affecting shit. So it's very annoying how much stake these online fucks who really don't care. That's what's so funny about it, man. You know, we'll talk about gaming too, since I am quite the gamer. We have games going on in the corner here. Very, very laggy games. I'm actually going to switch from this video because this video is so laggy and it gives me anxiety. This one's a little bit better. I think there is a little lag in here, though. What's so funny about it is that all these people with all these crazy, solid, you know, indignant opinions, they don't care. They just want you to follow their stupid role of whatever bullshit they have. Like, just follow me, have my opinion. That way I'm a part of this group. That way I've worn his skin. And I just think that's so fucking weird. Even though you can call me weird for wearing Lloyd's skin or whatever these, you know, VTubers call themselves, you know, video game character skins or whatever the fuck. But that's just, for me, and you can view this in any way you want, and you are right. But for me, that is just me showing my appreciation, my inspiration, you know, connecting this Dragon Quest world with the rest of the world. Because I really think that's what Dragon Quest was doing way back in 1996. They were trying to tell us something about this Earth. That's just my opinion, though. But yeah, it's so funny, man. They don't care. They don't care. A lot of the people who are virtue signaling and doing all this stuff, it's just for clout. It's just so that someone has their same stupid dog shit opinion, so they can show off to their friends to be like, yeah, if you want to follow this person and do what they're doing, you should have my opinion. Follow me. My opinion. Okay, let's get back to the video.
You're someone who hates Hassan, what would it take for you to like him? What would it take for you to think he's a good guy? And on the flip side, if you're a Hassan stan, what would it take for you to dislike him? See, this is something that you have to do ahead of time, because each step of the way it doesn't work. Like, because you'll rationalize, if you're on a particular team, you'll rationalize away the behavior of that team one step at a time, and you'll end up, we started at 0, you'll end up at like 100. You should really stop and ask yourself critically, for a belief that you have, for someone that you like, for someone that you dislike, what would it take for you to change your mind? We do not ask ourselves this question enough. Now, there's one other thing about mentalization that I want to talk about. This too, I mean, this is where there's like claims that Kai didn't have the shocker during the incident. Like this, I mean, it's clear that she did. And this too is like, okay, and this is where I know that there's a differential diagnosis here. One is that he's mistaken, I mean, he's mistaken, I think, and there's plenty of evidence of that. And maybe I'm wrong there. But the second is like, I can just attest to this, y'all. When people are under huge amounts of stress, their mind like thinks in a very black and white way, and they just sometimes make mistakes, right? So just because he's doing some mental gymnastics in his head, like a week into the shit when he's getting hammered, like just because he makes a mistake doesn't mean he was originally lying. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to like support him here. I'm just saying I want y'all to think about when you're 1 week into a period of stress, is your mind producing thoughts that are 100% correct? Okay, so here's the other part about mentalization that I want to talk about. Okay,
right-wing figures are literally doing rapes. Okay, they're doing rapes, and nothing matters. On the right, it don't matter. This is to say that, like, there shouldn't be a limit. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, be a little bit more, exercise a little bit more critical thought. Then be better yourself. Maybe have a dog and it not be a part of your persona. If you don't want to fucking question, you're evasive. You're no different than the GOP. You're a 40-month subscriber, and you think I'm like the grand old party because I won't just sit there and be like, you guys are right. I'm actually abusive to my dog. This is unironically what I was talking about. Like, please exercise a little bit of critical thinking, just a little bit, just for like a second, and I think you will realize that maybe you're not behaving correctly about this. Because if you're a 40-month subscriber, you've been here long enough that you know this is ridiculous.
So here's where we're going to talk about critical thinking for a second. This is why it's so important to mentalize. Okay, if a 40-month subscriber who's been around from the beginning thinks that this is sus, I think a huge opportunity for critical thinking is for you to take a step back and think about how does this person arrive at this conclusion, right? And this goes back to like this diagram over here, which is like if there's like a 40-month subscriber who's over here and doesn't think that what you're doing is like okay, telling them to exercise critical thinking is fine. You can do that, but this is I think a great opportunity for critical thinking, because how is it that someone who has been here, right? The key question for me in this scenario is how is it that this person who has been here for so long comes to this conclusion? Because they are ending up in one place and I'm ending up in a different place. And Hassan talks about this a lot. He says like, you know, the best way, I don't know how to fight against observable reality, right? So he'll say like, I don't know how to fight against observable reality. And like, that's really, 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 really important to think about. Because the whole point here is that the reality that you are observing is not the same as the reality that the other people are observing. And until you understand the reality that other people are observing, how do you know that your reality is more correct than their reality? And this is where the mind will come up with whatever answers. Hassan will say, well, I was there. Obviously, duh, right? But your mind is going to be plagued with cognitive bias as well. Your mind is going to look at things like this and say like, your mind is going to look at things like this and say like, this is not a problem. This is a clip of someone who's telling him that he's like choking his dog because the collar's too tight. His mind is going to look at something like this and it will very prone to dismiss it. People are leaving out the context. People are leaving out this. People aren't considering this. People don't see all the great stuff that I do for my dogs, right? So like, this is where I'm not trying to like zero in on him. I'm saying any human being will do this. The moment that you get defensive, right? So think about when y'all get criticized and you will think, oh my God, these people are ignoring the reality of the situation. They're ignoring the reality of the situation. They see a different reality. And this is the problem with the world today, is we are all living in our own realities. And how on earth can we coexist when we are living in different realities, right? So like anytime, like if someone has known you very well, and I see this all the time, let me just use a different example. So someone knows you really well, and like, I've had patients who have struggled with things like alcohol addiction, and then their friends come to them and they're like, hey man, I've known you for 40 months, and this is not like you, this is a problem. And then my patient's response will be like, oh my God, you don't understand my situation, you're being judgmental, you're not looking at things clearly, like you don't understand what the reality of the situation is. That's their response. But when you're under attack, I want y'all to think about when people attack you, do you think critically? Or is your default response, man, I wish they would think more critically? And this is what's happening right now, because we're talking across each other, we're not actually listening to each other, we're just like getting pissed at each other, blaming each other, and then like inviting the rest of the world to be less stupid, right? We're smart, you're dumb. And that is not working, y'all. It's just not working. This is why dialogue, as we've seen a decline in dialogue, we see more things like this, where it's shots fired, followed by defenses, followed by tribal thinking, followed by defense versus attack. Now it's us versus them. There's no like, hey, can we sit down and try to figure out what's like going on? How is this for you? Like what, what's going on with you? Like, everyone feels this way. Like what do you think about that? Like there's no dialogue. And then we get to, I think, the weird stuff, okay? Now this is where there's something weird in the air that is hard for me to describe, but I think there's a lot of projection. There's a lot of displacement. This 78K, like this blows my mind. And Hassan is like, hey, there's a genocide going on, right? There's all kinds of problems in the world. And it's not just a genocide. There's like, American, like rural hospitals in America are closing down. Like there's still conflict in Israel and Palestine. There's a lot of like weird stuff happening in the US. There's war between Ukraine and Russia. There are problems in the EU. Was it not Indonesia? Which country was it? Nepal, maybe? Had like a revolution where they elected somebody on Discord. I'm forgetting which country it was. I think it was Nepal. And they fucking dragged their finance minister through the streets and like whipped.
Yeah. It was Nepal. It was Nepal. I was reading about this. A lot of places in the world right now are rioting, and we are kind of leading the charge with that in America, but in a weird, disingenuous way, because a lot of these people really have real things to riot over, and not to discount Americans, but a lot of us are kind of in the pockets of people in bad ways, and that's why we're out on the streets. I don't want to radicalize you too much because this is an American channel. If you want more about that, I'm sure the AI will fucking be all over this video to explain all that bullshit. But Google is your best friend. I just don't really know enough to accurately portray that shit. But just don't believe everything you see. Don't randomly run to the streets. If you are in one of those countries with things to riot about, go out, do your shit, talk your shit, run your shit. But yeah, it's a crazy fucking world out there. It really is, and we have to realize doing your research is square one. Like it should be, at least. It should be square one, base one for whatever bullshit you want to stand for. But people don't want to do that. They just want to follow one voice, one thing. And I'm sorry, guys, life cannot be that easy anymore. It cannot be that simple anymore. Once again, this is one of those things where you just have to take the hard fucking route. It's gonna suck. But if you take the hard route, it'll probably do some good things for you. One of the things that really annoys me is basically this. I have this picture here. That it's like, people just find the stupidest things to, put on the forefront of their minds. But as you can see here, we'll zoom in. So we're just gonna ignore the fact NASA potentially discovered that our universe is inside a black hole, so this is actual Angie here, a wonderful lady. And then Sleaze Monster over here with saying, WTF am I supposed to do? Angie, I can barely afford my rent. I understand Sleaze Monster, So this is just, this is regular woman conversation here. But honestly, what we have to remember is, life is but a mirror. So what you choose to focus on, if you're choosing to focus on these crazy fucking riots, if you're choosing to focus on Collargate, if you're choosing to focus on Drag Quest in the corner, if you're choosing to focus on the music in the background, if you're choosing to focus on my voice, that is what your life will be coded with. So just focus on some other shit. I don't care if there's a black hole, I gotta get to work. Like it is what it is, man. And a lot of shit in life is like that. It sucks, but what kills you in life is just caring about shit. You have to tactically not care about shit. And that's what really destroys me and annoys me about a lot of jobs, man, is that to really win, you're not supposed to be that stupid idiot gooner that they all tell you, hey, that's what we're looking for in the interview. That's what you have to be in the interview. And then slowly but surely you realize the humiliation ritual that they brought you through was some bullshit donkey doo-doo butt cheeks. It's sad. It's sad, but it really is just what you focus on. And people project just nastiness on you because the world feeds off of chaos. Twitch is only profitable because of chaos. YouTube, actually there was an era of YouTube that was different. So I don't know, YouTube probably can be profitable, and actually it still is profitable. What am I saying? It can thrive either way. And that's the beautiful thing about some social media platforms, even Twitch, is that you can do knowledgeable things on there. You can do beautiful things on there. You can do beautiful things with beautiful people, but there's just a lot of slop that rises to the top because that is what people like to look at. You know, we like train wrecks, we like crazy things, and we like crazy stories of lies, of fortune, of grit and determination. Because, like he said earlier in here, mentalization or mixed messages. I forget where he said it. We pay attention a lot as humans to the outliers, to the things that don't make a lot of sense. And also, this song is pretty much done, so I'm gonna open up the next one, and we're gonna play a little bit more of this video.
Whipped him and stuff like that. Like, there's all kinds of stuff going on. And this is what we get really focused on, right? So for the people who are like hammering Hasan, why is it that it is so important to see that this guy is brought to justice about this issue? Do y'all get what I'm saying? Like, why is there such a intense desire to see this outcome resolved in a particular way? Y'all get, like, that's a little bit weird. Like, what is our investment as a community in this? Are we suddenly like super pro animal rights, or like what's going on here? Are we gonna try to like protect it? Like, why are we so invested in this? And this is where I think there's a lot of projection, there's a lot of displacement. I'm not quite sure what this is. I really have to sit down and talk to a lot of people to really understand what's going on, but this is what I feel. So this is the part that I think is like the sketchiest part of what I'm gonna say. So what I detect is a lot of pent up resentment. And now that resentment is coming out, I would say that this reaction is disproportionate, and maybe I'm wrong there, maybe I don't understand people's values and we're really pro animals or whatever, but I would say that this reaction is like disproportionate to the size of the thing, right? And I want to say, like, I'm gonna just check in with chat for a second. Can we agree on that? Would y'all say that this is like, okay, because we hate hypocrites? Great. So for the people who are saying no, what are y'all saying? Why do y'all think this is not disproportionate? No, let's listen to the people. So people who say, like let me understand, because he always escapes, okay, this is beautiful, okay, always escapes responsibility, what else? Jesus, I gotta slow down. Maybe we're pro animals, like, okay, right? So animal abuse, but there's like all kinds of animal abuse going on all the time, right? There's like all kinds of animal abuse going on all the time. What bothers us so much about this instance of animal abuse, more so than everything else? And I'm not saying I'm right, I'm not saying y'all wrong, I'm genuinely trying to understand why, for the people who do not think this is disproportionate, like, tell me why. Explain it to me. He can't keep getting away with it. Exposes his true colors. So this is like related to hypocrisy. This is beautiful. Okay, so he's like deflecting, talking about rapes, okay? Gaslighting. Okay, this is great. Okay, so I didn't feel super confident in what I was about to say. Double standards. Okay, I didn't feel super confident in what I was going to say, but man, y'all just really helped me out, so I'm so grateful, okay? This is so good, okay? So remember when I said up here, there's pent-up resentment. So I'm going to ask y'all a question. Are there people in today's world that escape responsibility? What do y'all think, chat? No accountability. Are we upset, right? Can y'all think of anyone who is escaping responsibility for their actions, right? Are we upset with them? Yeah? Okay, are there people? Can we do anything about it? So I want y'all to think about someone who is escaping responsibility, and what can you do? Can y'all do anything about it? Okay, right? So like some people are saying yes, some people are saying no, right? So there are people, and can we do anything about it? Not really. And maybe you can do something, I don't know, right? Are there people out there abusing animals? Can we do anything about it? Do we do anything about it? Not really. Are there people out there who keep getting away with it? Can we do anything about it? Not really. Do we know someone who we're waiting for them to expose their true colors? Are there like people in your life that you know, like that you see on TV or you see on the internet? Are we like kind of as a society, are we frustrated with people being fake? And can we expose them? Are there people around us that are very hypocritical? Say one thing, do something else. Can you do anything about it? Probably not. Are there people who deflect, who when they have some kind of problem, say, oh, but there's something, they're really good at whataboutism. They're like, stop looking at my problem. There's so many worse problems going over there. Absolutely. Are there people out there who are gaslighting us, and can we do a whole lot about it? Absolutely not. Oh, here's a good one. Are there people who have double standards? Does the world treat some people very well and some people treat very poorly, right? The CEO of Twitch, is he a fan of any particular political streamers? Is there a double standard? This is what's crazy. We don't really know. I know there's a perception of a double standard, but this is what's crazy. I know this is crazy, but hear me out. I've been on the receiving end of this. The prime example that I can think of is I once worked with a Dota 2 team, and man, working with that Dota 2 team and seeing how it runs on the inside and what the real problems were, and seeing what Reddit's understanding of what the problems were, they were like night and day. No one on Reddit had a fucking clue what was going on inside the team, but everyone is judging and everyone is sure that they're right. Does that make sense? That being in the room and knowing what is actually happening is very different from watching clips on the internet and believing you know what is happening. Are we sensitive to people who do not take responsibility? So here's what I think is happening. When human beings have all of this pent up stuff, there's so many things that we
And that's crazy too, guys. If you've ever worked at like a coffee shop or a bar, even some fast food restaurants have this problem. You have that one customer who thinks they know how to do your job better than you, and it's like, bro, I work behind the fucking counter. That's like everybody on Reddit, and it's crazy how insane it is. Like what they have this energy about them that, you know, they're living on New Game Plus, and they feel like behind the keyboard I hold all of the answers, or but behind their prestigious job, wherever the fuck they work at, whatever pencil pushing bullshit job they work at, that they feel like is so much better than the service industry job that you have. Which is why, of course, I don't want another fucking job, because I am, oh my god, there's my alarm. Sorry about that. I am super fucking good at these white-collar service industry customer service bullshit. Give up all of your rights and love and respect to government, pride, all that bullshit. I'm really good at that. I'm really, really fucking good at that. I really like doing that. I really enjoy that environment. The problem is, it don't like me. As a matter of fact, it fucking hates me, because I'm the kind of person who just wants to come in and leave and maybe eventually get enough money to live, but that's not really the point. The point is, at least for a lot of places I worked, the point was coming in to get the coffee that was free there, coming in to, enjoy the free AC. For some jobs, I hated them so much that I loved the walk there. And I would literally wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh yes, I get to walk to work. It would be like that. But I always found ways to have fun. I always found ways that it was profitable. I always found ways that it worked for me. The problem is, guys, the respect never came from any of those jobs, any of those bosses, any of those people. Don't look at you as people, especially when you're good at a job like that. It's so frustrating, and I think just the fact that I was good at a job like that just makes, me so looked over, and it's fine. It just means I have to do another job, especially with what's going on with AI. I can't keep running my wheels around for no one and nobody of importance, I have to eventually do things for myself. And that's where we're going now. I mean, of course, it's a weird thing, but I feel like the traction I've gained now kind of proves that, I don't know, at least somebody wants to watch this. At least, like, fucking 80 or so people want to watch this. So, I'll keep doing things, I'll keep making moves. Prideful moves this time. Because there comes a point where the modesty and, the honest, oh man, like imagine if these StarCraft guys actually bent the knee to these retards on Reddit. Imagine if you, or oh my god, I didn't even have to imagine, some of my bosses at work fucking did this. When the idiots came in, they were like, you should do it like this. This is actually a better way, blah, blah, blah. They would listen to these fucking retard customers, and then eventually, like 2-3 weeks later, we'd fucking go back to whatever. I've had bosses like that. But imagine if the StarCraft teams or whatever, just adhere to these idiots. You've probably done it before. You've gotten advice from somebody who's maybe not too smart, and then you looked it up on Google and you're like, oh, that was some dumb shit. It is what it is, guys. You just have to respect yourself and your knowledge and know that we all have our own answers. People are going to help us come to those answers, but we all have them, and we all always have them. We all always have had them. Thank you, I can talk. Anyways, that's this song. I'm pretty much done with it. Oh my fucking eye! Something in my eye. While I fix that, I'm gonna play the video.
For. And that's fine, but here's the thing. The things that y'all are talking about, for those of y'all that are like really don't think that this is inappropriate, right? I'm not saying that y'all are right or y'all are wrong. Remember, the goal of this is not to pass judgment. I'm not judge, I'm not jury, I'm not executioner, I'm not investigator. I think we as human beings need to understand what the fuck is going on in our society right now, because we are tearing each other apart, and I'm serious, y'all, this is not hyperbole. This could result in biological weapons, it could result in nuclear weapons, it could result in all kinds of problems. The world is fucking falling apart because of stuff like this. Because of the fundamental way that human beings have started interacting with each other, and because of a lack of the way that we stopped interacting with each other. So we have all of this pent-up emotional energy, and it's got nowhere to go. And so where does it end up? Someone shows up and holy shit, y'all, the evidence is good. You see him yanking by his tail? The Loner Box video, XQC is doing this, all these people are lying about it, he's got Ludwig on a leash, like, oh my god, this fucking guy, double standard, hypocrite, privilege, pretends to be pro-minority while he has $3 million houses and $300 shirts, right? A champion for the underprivileged, no accountability, gets to dodge bans all the time, other people get banned for all kinds of stuff, and then now, like, it comes out onto him, and this guy's like, what the fuck did I do? I hit a button, and oh my god, I want y'all to think about this from a Hassan perspective. Let's think for a moment, like, holy shit, what is this disproportionate reaction? Because people can't get upset at anybody else. People can't tear down anybody else. So what do? They go for him. He's the one target, because I know this sounds insane, y'all, I work with a bunch of creators. A creator's power is a house of cards, is a fucking house of cards, and if public sentiment turns against you, there's very little resilience. There's no institution to prop you up. And it's terrifying. Like, this guy's like, what did I do? I hit a button. And by the way, it's not even illegal. People sell shock collars. You can use a shock collar. Hey, he talks about like the TENS, like I've had a TENS machine. It delivers, and by the way, he's correct here. TENS machines are things that are used to help people in physical therapy. They deliver an electrical shock that is way higher than a shock collar. But here's the key thing to remember. A TENS machine is used on muscle. The shock collar is not, okay? If I punch you in the throat and I punch you in the arm, the amount of pain you will experience will be very different. Do y'all get that? Just because the force is the same does not mean that the pain is the same. But do y'all get what I'm saying about this right here? That this is what's happening. We've got one guy, and when the mob gets angry, and it's angry at 15 people, and one person fitting the description of the other 14 show up, they tear him apart. Now, there are a couple of other complicating factors here, which I think really, there's a lot of pent-up stuff, I think, that's specifically towards Hasan. So I know, for example, that, and I'm not saying this is true or not true, I'm just saying that with the creators that I've worked with, one of the things that there are a handful of communities that they're really scared of, and Hasan's is one of them. I'm not saying that that's justified or not justified, I'm not saying it's true or not true, but just for whatever reason, right, and when people say, I'll ask them, like, why, right, what concerns you about? And I think that's something to do with his size, his rigidity, and the tribalism of his community, right? There's an us versus them. And so another example of this, and I think this is why the Ethan Klein Hasan thing got so bad, because there's a lot of tribalism in both of those communities. There's not a whole lot of like dialogue or trying to understand or things like that, at least that I can perceive. And if that's incorrect, remember, I'm making these judgments based on very limited stuff. It's not like I watch these guys a whole lot. It's just with parts of them that I do see, which there could be a selection bias for, there's like there's not a whole lot of like, let's understand why the right is the way that it is. That's not usually what they say. Let's try to understand the perspectives of the Palestinians. Let's try to understand the perspectives of the Israelis. I haven't seen them talk about that. There's rigidity, there's tribalism, and there's righteousness. And so I think that when you...
Yeah, I do agree with this to a certain extent. Also, I got the tuber up now. Apologies, there was less personality in the stream. Now you got it all. Look at shoe chatter. But anyways, like, to a certain extent, I agree with this. But it's so frustrating to see just people with giant platforms. You know, like there's no real display of you know, the true, I don't know, projection or power outside of like Asmon, especially for people like in my community that sort of look like me, I suppose. But yeah, it's very sad to see that a lot of times the inauthenticity is what rises to the top. You don't see the people who are like really truthful because they kind of have to stay in the dark or else they get fucking shot in the neck. Sad.
When you add tribalism, rigidity, and righteousness, when you add that with clout, power, and size, this is what you see. And this is not just him. So I encourage y'all to think about communities, how open they are, how understanding they are, how convinced they are that they are right and somebody else is wrong, and how do those communities behave. Don't even think about LSF or the Twitch sphere or the streamer sphere or whatever. Think about other groups that you know. So why am I talking about this? Because I think like we need to understand that this is happening. We need to understand that this poor guy, he is getting just an explosion because we've got nowhere else to send it. And I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm not saying he's a good dude. I'm not saying he's a bad dude. Not my place to be judge, jury, or execute.
Yeah, it's crazy because America really doesn't have like an enemy right now to fight at the moment. We're just kind of fighting everything and each other, and Hasan, he's kind of uniting everybody under his iron puppy fist. Because like I said before, there's no like there's child protection services, but there's no like puppy protection services, you know? For me, it's just, this is a domestic case, you know? It's not something that we should really be even worried about as outsiders looking in. You know, maybe this is something for Hasan's friends to talk to him about. Perhaps even they won't, and they'll just, you know, sort of comfort the dog, or, you know, make sure everything is going well behind the scenes. You know how many times I've seen people have pets and think they're taking care of them, when in reality somebody's just coming behind them and doing all the bullshit for them, which is really what everybody wants. It's so funny how these AI robot assistants are coming out and all they do is fucking chores. Like, people just want to be maintenized or whatever. So we really don't know is all I'm trying to say about this situation. And people are acting like it's like corroborated proof this way or that way just for clout. It has nothing to do with the actual truth, or if they care about the actual truth. They're just coming out with an opinion because that's what people like to watch. And the people who aren't, you know, making the content and watching are the true fiends, man. The true fiends, you know, when you're in these comments and these Reddit threads of people just theorizing and prattling over bullshit, it's like, get your own fucking dog and shock him instead of fucking around with Hasan and all this bullshit. It just like angers me so much, man. But it really is tribalism. It's all this stuff, you know, all this work to have an opinion, to have a stake, you know, to feel like they're putting their flag down in the moon or some shit. Like, yeah, I was here, I was there during Colorgate, and I had this take. Like, nobody fucking cares, man. Make your own art, do your own thing, get your own dog. Like, I don't understand why they're dipping their toes in somebody else's Kool-Aid so hard. It doesn't annoy me. It just surprises me how like normalized this is. It's kind of insane. Like, I don't know why people aren't normalizing, you know, I don't know, stealing music. You wouldn't steal a car. Jesus Christ. Anyways, oh, I thought I had the instrumental for this. Okay, I'll find something to have the instrumental for. Let's go back to the playlist.
executioner. The reason I'm sharing this with y'all is because, like, we as a society need to understand these dynamics, because as long as this stuff keeps going, the world will literally keep moving in the direction that it's moving. It's about winning, not understanding, right? And this is where, like, I said something earlier that I think is, like, you know, sometimes has got me in trouble, but I want y'all to really think about this. Like, why do people try to do genocide? It's because if I can wipe everybody out, then I win for sure. We've seen this historically. There's so many people that will try to ethnically cleanse. They're trying to wipe people out. There's no sense of understanding. That's the direction we are moving. Hell, we're already there. There are groups of people who are trying to systematically wipe out other groups of people. There's no attempt at understanding. It's only about winning. And as long as we are doing this will continue. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is talking to people. So when we started streaming, or when I started streaming, we used to have these, like, really powerful conversations with people, and then what would happen is people would start pressuring other streamers to come and talk to us. And then we made a decision several years ago at Healthy Gamer that we were growing. We used to have 20 to 40,000 concurrents. Now we're sitting at a whopping like 1,500. We made a decision some time ago that the kind of audience that we were attracting was not there to get better. They were there for voyeurism. We're here to talk to people, to try to help people. We're not here to try to be a show for other people. This is not, you know, the entertaining part is not someone else's struggles. The entertaining part is me doing accents. There have been many times where I've been tempted, and sometimes we'll reach out to people if they're going through shit. Tons of people reach out to us. We try to support them in the best way that we can. So I think dialogue is important. But this is where I want y'all to understand. I feel like I have to talk about this. This is framing is really important. I struggled with something that I'm going to share with y'all. So when all this shit was going on, I struggled thinking about whether I should message Hasan or not. Be like, hey dude, are you doing okay? Sounds like you're going through a ton of shit. I don't have a relationship with him, so if someone I have a relationship with him, I'll almost always try to DM them if they're going through something. Try to be supportive as a friend. But then I was thinking about, and this is what's so hard. So let's say I DM him and he says, no dude, I'm good. And then I make this video. What's that like for him? Now Dr. K is like talking about me because I turned him down. Do y'all kind of get what I'm saying? It puts him in a weird position. And we usually, like, I'm open to having conversations on stream with people with things about this, but there's a certain ambulance chaser mentality to that I don't like. It's not really what we're doing, but
See, this is kind of crazy how I've sort of entered this area where I never liked talking to people in the first place. But now that I'm doing this, like, the people that I watch, like, casually, that I be lurking in and shit, are actually talking to me. So yeah, I have the same kind of sensation where it's like, what should I, you know, fucking say back? And I have to sort of level that in a way where if I make some content talking about something, it's like, it's not at you, of course. And it's even more different than, you know, when I'm telling a story about somebody I know in real life. Because these are people that you know, but you don't really know anything about. If it's somebody in real life, you know, I'm telling a story about you, it's like, whatever, man. Of course, I'm not going to use names, so it doesn't really matter. You don't know. But it can get kind of scary, sort of parasocial-ish, if, you know, you send a DM to someone, and then they may or may not respond, whatever, maybe they saw it. Excuse me, let me get some water. And then you immediately go to just drop a video on it. Like, for me, I schizo out. I think a lot, you know, so that disturbs me a little bit when I just consider all the factors. But it's a problem. It's definitely a streamer problem, but it's a problem for me in general because this is how I think about, you know, text messages or things like that. Like, it's insanity how much I corroborate over the timing, the nature, the tone, the wording. I don't think it's something that anyone should really dwell over as much as I do. But when you do, you should probably gear that energy towards something profitable. Like, please, Lordy Jesus. Let's see what Dr. K's take on it is.
But that's really tricky. And the other problem is now that I've had this conversation, I'm sure that people will show up in his chat, hey, Dr. K's talking about you. Hey, like, do you want to talk to Dr. K? Please, guys, don't do that. Do you guys realize, let's mentalize for a moment, what kind
Luckily, nobody does that for me. Thank God. I don't want to get popular, guys. If you're watching this, if you're hearing this, don't tell anybody. Enjoy it now. Enjoy the moment. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do.
of position that puts him in, it puts him in a lose-lose situation. If he doesn't want to do it, right, it makes him look bad. And if he does do it, then it's really scary, it's really dangerous. Like y'all get what I'm saying? Like, this is where I think dialogue is important. Think for a moment about what his experience of this is going to be, right? And I genuinely hope that nothing I said today will cause him.
Yeah, toxic empathy is crazy. Toxic empathy is crazy. That everybody thinks that they are thinking about what's in other people's shoes, but like to really jump in the perspective of Hasan is really, really hard to do. And you gotta suspend your disbelief a lot to know that, you know, money, of course, gives you a lot of options just to make you happy, of course. And neither does this stupid fame stuff. It really doesn't do anything similar. It's just more options. As a matter of fact, it's kind of less options because of what I literally just discussed. You know, you can't just talk to anybody when you have power like that. You know, I have this tiny ounce of power and I still have to worry about, you know, the comments that I post or, you know, the people that I tag. And I tag a lot of people, man. I got fucking Kanye and Kid Cudi over here, you know? So I really have to worry about literally everything. But I feel like now that I actually have something that, I don't know, man. And I don't like to say it like this, like, you're not worth unless you have a channel, but something with responsibility that other people watch, and it's not just a text message that I feel like I'm responsible for the people in my physical life. I feel like now I'm responsible for people in like Russia and Japan and shit, and in Nam. I know we have a lot of Vietnam visitors as well, so I appreciate y'all. But now that I have this stupid thought that I'm kind of responsible for them, that one person from over in that country could possibly like be responsible for me, it's like something that you can't even, you know, put into words, man. It's crazy. It's insanity. But that's a montage.
him or anybody else, Cutie Cinderella, Ludwig, Asmongold, XQC, like whatever. I don't wish anyone to troll on any of these people. I think, please, y'all, listen to what I'm saying here. This is not about them. This is like, look around. The world is fucking falling apart, and we need to start having dialogues. So I'm sort of open to doing that in some way. It's kind of what I try to do, but I don't want to be like, okay, like Dr. K saying, hey, like, y'all should come and talk, right? Do you guys see how manipulative that is? That's not what I'm saying. So I'm trying to sort of not do that, but also say that, hey, we need to start talking to each other. That I firmly believe, right? Because I'm not trying to...
Yeah, see, we don't need to just fecklessly distract ourselves with conversations that don't matter. This is why I hate Twitch chat, because it really tricks us into thinking we're having a dialogue. We're not. Go talk to somebody in real life. I know it's early, so you probably can't talk to anybody. Unless you're in Japan, then it's like it's a good time for a nice little night chat, or wherever else in the Eastern Hemisphere. I hope you guys are doing well over there on a wonderful Friday. Oh goodness gracious, it's Thursday. We'll be here after the wow, got distracted. But yes, socializing is often what leads us to stop growing, and the stop growing means, you know, we naturally think that what did I say? Stop socializing? You know, the over-socializing is what leads us to stop growing. And when we stop growing, we think that we don't need more socialization. And it's crazy that we just get stuck in this loop of distraction. And of course, the media knows this. The advertisements know this, and they want you to stay in that loop. You know, don't stay calm. Don't have your peace. Don't take a walk in the morning and unwind your brain and actually be with yourself. We want you constantly talking with people all the time. I need you on that train, that dopamine train, in just the slot to get it in your pot. I think I'm done with cutting montage too, so we'll save that. How many do I have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6? Let's go back to Dr. K, because I have no idea what I was talking about.
I'm really not trying to call anyone. I don't think that is good, right? So be like, oh, like, hey, like, you want to come talk? And if they say, no, yeah, fucking, he didn't want to talk, and then, like, we don't want to put him in an unfair position, or anybody else for that matter. And at the same time, I want to signal to y'all that this work needs to be done, and if this work needs to be done, I am somewhat willing to do it, because I don't know what it looks like. There's so many other considerations. We need to start talking to each other. Like, that I believe more than anything else on the planet. Like, this absolutely needs to happen. And this particular instance doesn't need to happen with this particular person about this particular thing, because there's so much crap loaded into this. Because I want y'all to think for a moment. Let us mentalize. If Hassan and I have a conversation, and he says anything, this happened with fucking poor Thor. I had a conversation with Thor, and I think the guy really tried to understand. He showed up with the right intention. I showed up with the right intention. I even asked y'all, please don't clip it and ship it. What happened? It got clipped and shipped. We took the worst parts of the conversation, and they blew to the top of the LSF. Yay, Dr. K's back at the top of LSF, showing narcissists how they're such assholes. This world that I know you guys love, oh my god, love to blame Hassan. Love to blame all these hypocrites and everyone escaping responsibility and everyone who deflects. Do y'all take accountability for your part in this? Fuck deserves it, bro. I wish I could have done more. Right? But what I want y'all to really understand is that in a relationship, which this is a parasocial relationship, there's the way that I behave and there's the way that y'all behave. What gets created between us has contributions from both sides, right? And like, I think especially with just...
What's crazy about that is that there's resentment over this parasocial relationship shit. Like people who are content creators are resentful because, you know, you're not held responsible for any of your chats, but I'm held responsible for reading them. But, you know, content creators, oh, not the content creators, the content watchers get, you know, resentful because it's like, you have all this power and money just from me watching the stream, or you doing nothing but playing video games, and you should respect me or mod me just because I'm here and I'm giving you a view, or whatever the fuck. And it's crazy how you can't just accept it. There's a power dynamic in everything. I love all my bosses, okay? I love all of my bosses. And I'm gonna say that one more time. Every boss that I've had, every manager I have complete, utter love for them. Now, am I satisfied with the quality of their work? No. Do I respect them? Hell no. And that's the problem. That's why I got fired. That's why I routinely get fired. That's why I routinely look for other jobs. Because I'm someone who goes for growth. And then when I go for growth, and I have a manager who doesn't go for growth, or doesn't go for growth at the same rate, or goes for growth but then acts like they're doing a better job for me, or doesn't go for growth and then acts like they're doing a better, like, it's always some bullshit that happens because people don't acknowledge your power level and they don't let you get what you deserve at any job, man. You know, I could be the most grateful, you know, happiest worker, doing his thing in the best way, the most efficient way, whatever, and it's never going to be enough. It never will be enough. The fact that you do too much shows us that we can just abuse you more. That doesn't show us that you deserve more. You know who deserves more? The guy who demands it, and I will never demand it. Just like I'm never gonna demand you to subscribe. Why would I demand you to do that? Oh my god, that sounds terrible. More people to take care of? Ugh. I remember when I had a classroom of 30 people. I remember. Those were the days. But I have 80 people here, and I don't want to say I hate the responsibility. I'm just saying, I want the people here who want to fucking be here, guys. Like, is that so much to ask? Is that so much to ask? And, it's crazy how a lot of people who watch content don't want to watch it. A lot of people who make the content don't want to make it. It's fucking insane. I never wanted to be one of those people, but luckily I just grinded the skill, you know, and you can do it very easily. Whatever you do, man, just start 1% every day, and then eventually just come natural, and you won't care, you know, whether it's making slappa, making music, playing Gemu. One step at a time. But it's funny how parasocial we can get, and how resentful we can get with the people we love.
Just talking about Thor for a second. So I know that everyone like loves to burn him and things like that. But the number of people that like, we got so much positive feedback. They're like, oh, I'm like this too. Can you please help me change because it's fucking up my relationships, right? I'm not saying that he's bad or anything like that. It's like, we do this to try to help people, not to try to tear people down. And unless we start talking to each other, and if we keep talking across each other and having these like, you know, literally like, I'm gonna react to this, I'm gonna react to this. I saw the title of the stream, I was like, oh my god, I'm doing it too. Talk about hypocrisy. Here I am. Stop talking about people. Stop talking across people. Right? And maybe this is me trying to not be hypocritical. This is me trying to notice, hey, like I'm part of the problem too. I'm a streamer too. I do it too. Like I'm not perfect in this by any means. Today may fuck up people's lives in ways that I really don't intend. And I really do think that it's over, y'all, which is why I'm kind of talking about it now. But like, it's just such a good example of what is wrong on the internet. If all criticism of things online can be just dismissed and boiled down to your own pent-up anger and resentment, how is any accountability ever in anything? So this is important to understand. Great question. So if I'm like, I found nothing wrong. It is your pent-up resentment that is displaced onto him, and he is great, right? How will there ever be accountability? Here's what I'm saying. I know it's wild. How about we give the appropriate amount of accountability to the people who deserve it? So does Dazan deserve accountability? Absolutely. Do we hold him accountable? Absolutely. Should we hold me accountable? Absolutely. All I'm saying is when there is this pent-up resentment and displacement, and I'm betting y'all money that you have been on the receiving end of this. I've seen this so much when you're the black sheep of the family, when you're the person who people don't like at work, when you are a racial minority and you get a displaced amount of hatred. How does that feel? So I'm not advocating for an absence of accountability at all. What I'm saying is let us have an appropriate amount of accountability for people and what they did. I have too much hope for people. Yeah, so here's the last thing I'm gonna say. I think most people do the best that they know how to do. They do the best. Honestly, most people kind of do the best that they can. And sometimes that's pretty bad. But I think that like, you know, when I've worked with people who are streamers, there's a certain narcissism that is like a necessary developmental piece that comes with streaming. So I don't know if this kind of makes sense, but see, when you get criticized by one person, it hurts. When you are a gigantic streamer and you get criticized by 10,000 people, 100,000 people, your brain doesn't view that criticism probabilistically. That's not how our brain works. Our brain doesn't do a calculation of, okay, 99% of people like me, 1% of people hate me. It just looks at the 1% of people that hates you, or the 10,000 people who hate you, or the 100,000 people who hate you, and that's very psychologically traumatic. It's not a percentage. That's just our brain is bad at probability. There's all kinds of studies about this. You can look at things like the Monty Hall problem and things like that. It's why human beings play the lottery, and it's why human beings gamble, because we suck at probabilistic thinking. And so when you're a streamer, it requires, right, because some people are going to hate you no matter what. And how do you protect your psyche from people who hate you no matter what? There's a series of defense mechanisms that we'll use. The narcissistic defense mechanism is one of the biggest ones, right? Because I can't receive that person's opinion, because if I receive that person's opinion and the 9,000 other people with them, like, I won't be able to wake up tomorrow morning. So I have to deflect. Is it healthy? It's adaptive. I don't think it's the healthiest thing that you can do. Does it cause problems? Does it create sort of narcissistic patterns of thought? Absolutely. Are those bad? Absolutely. Do those kinds of patterns of thought encourage people to avoid accountability, to be a little bit gaslighty towards themselves and the people around them? Absolutely. But it's a feature of the profession. That's my honest belief. There's other details and nuances there that we can kind of go into. Hey y'all, hope you enjoyed today's video. We talk about a bunch of topics like this on the channel, so be sure to subscribe for more. If you're already subscribed, GG, and we'll see.
Go and subscribe to Healthy Gamer GG. Give a like to the video. He does good videos. I like gamers. I like being healthy. Definitely doesn't need the subs, but you know, at the same time, he does need the subs. So go like his stuff if you like his stuff. I'm out of coffee, and that is a problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the pot one more time. I'm pretty much done with this one too. Just song. How long have we been going for? We've been going for about 2 hours now. I usually just do an hour of gaming, but we've been chilling here. We've been vibing here, so I think I'm gonna go till about 7 or so. I'll load up another reaction too in the meantime. But I'm just gonna let you guys listen to this on the break. I think I still have it going. Let me just double check and see if the music's still playing here. And then I'll start the coffee pot. I will be back in a second. Where's my BRB? What the fuck? I put it somewhere. Oh, it's up there. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's get that back. Oh, fuck. Okay, fine. We'll do that. We'll do that. Sure. Burb. Burb on the burb. I won't be gone long, though. I won't be gone long. Give me like, I don't know, 5 or so minutes? 5 or so minutes? I'm back. As you can clearly tell from the weird sounds. I'll load up something else for you. I know you've been you've been audacious marched out. I can tell. So we'll do something else. We'll do something else. I think I have the instrumental for this. I don't. I definitely don't. Oh fuck! I was watching the stream on my phone, so let me turn that down. Hopefully it didn't come from the mic. Okay. And I fucking don't. I fucking don't at all. That's hilarious. Okay, so we won't do that one. I have like a playlist of React videos that we could go through. So I'll probably look at that with you guys. If you are watching the stream back, take note, take stock. These are the kind of videos I watch. So if you ever want to suggest a React, you can grab it from this playlist that I have here. It's my React Andy playlist. I might even make this public. I don't know. I really don't have any kind of Discord or way for you guys to like suggest videos to me, but you know, I really don't not read things that people send me. But I may not respond. Be 100% with you. I may not respond. So let's see here. Let's just scroll down the line. Let's see what we find. Actually, let me make this regular sized. Make it a little smaller there. All right, and let me switch the screens. Get off the burb. All right, so here we go. This our Weax. This our Weax. Okay, move this over a little bit actually. There you go. So essentially, I have like a bunch of things that I've watched, some that I haven't, some that I've like watched a little bit of. But this, I generally only pick things that I have like a take on. That I really feel like I could say some shit about. Oh, I remember this venting video. That was very good. I'm a very, very big fan of Newell of Knowledge. If you watch any of my earlier videos, a lot of them basically completely 100% stolen from him. He has just great ideas, man. What can I fucking say? What can I fucking say? Walked out of the Weekend movie. It wasn't even really a movie for that shit, honestly. It was crazy. Oh god, the Ethan video. I kind of want to get something at the bottom though. Something recent. Oh, Nintendo negativity grifting. Yo, who likes Nintendo YouTubers? I feel like I'm a pretty big fan. I'm a pretty big fan, honestly, of Nintendo YouTubers, especially the ones who are inherent hyper shills. And I just think they're really funny. Just like listening to people that you don't necessarily agree with. I just think, especially since this is someone who I feel like I was very much like back in the day, someone who I feel like if I turned into, I would become very profitable too. But it's just not me. It's not in me anymore to, hold pride in the things I love if they have shitty people behind them. In general, all of life is about the people. You can make it about the things as much as you fucking want. And try to state your case as much as you fucking want. But at the end of the day, it's about the people, You can love these Nintendo games all you want. It is not connected to what you should support, which is not these Nintendo games. I don't care if you love them though. I don't care if you love the new Nintendo games, But to label it negativity grifting when this is a shit company, like come on Botox. Come on Botox. Anyways, I feel like this one's pretty funny. We could go and laugh on this. It's a pretty goofy thing to think that negativity grifting is out of control when in reality you yourself are doing like a positivity grifting thing. I mean, it's all grifting, just like what I said with virtue signaling. It's all a game of how to gain the most clout as quickly and accurately as possible, right? But yeah, that's what the video title is. You can see here, it's Nintendo negativity grifting is out of control. Oh my god. All right, let me get the coffee. It is ready, and then we'll start the video in a sec. There we go. Oh, I'm still gonna leave that door open. Leave that door open. Goddamn chair. All right. Let's make this a regular size, regular schmegular size. And I have some 21 Savage for you guys to listen to. I think Bo actually does have music in this game. In this video though. So we probably won't listen to it as much. He is one of those guys who likes to edit the videos very, very nicely, so can't hate him for it. Excuse me, I will be stirring the coffee while this happens, so I apologize if you hear that noise and whatnot. Mixing it with a little bit of protein milk, making something extra tasty for you. But yeah, people grift. People grift in every gaming space. Because it's all grifting, motherfucker. If you didn't think these gaming journalists weren't in the pocket to just get enough clicks to last, you know, basically, you know, because it's a very unpermanent job, very unserious job, as far as the people care about, you know, the truth of gaming. Oh, you gotta be true to these gamers. No, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck. People treat gaming just like the game of life, my guy. The game of all the bullshit inconsistencies in the workplace. But worse, because video games and ads. Ads in video games, yeah, no soul. Absolutely no soul. If it makes more money, we're doing it. If it makes more money, that's it. That's what we're doing. That's what makes the most money though. That we're doing it. And for a lot of these publications like The Gamer and all this shit, okay, I'm getting too much into it before he even tells us about anything. Oh, I got a little bit of shit on my finger. All right, so let's go ahead and start this. Like I said, I think he has sound in this video, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause that real quick. Bo? Oh, I muted him. I forgot. I'm sorry, Bo. I'm sorry, Bo. I muted your wonderful voice. All right, let's get some Botox. Let's get our face in shape. Okay, guys. Okay, guys, make sure your Botox injections are all right. They're all spiffy. All right, we're 2x speed. Let's go.
Here, I actually literally just posted my review of Legends ZA, and immediately all of the comments are coming at me for being even remotely positive about this game. And I've been meaning to make this video for a while.
No, bro! Remotely positive? Hello? Let me get bro. I'm not even gonna play the video for you. I'm just gonna let you see what the fucking video title for this shit is. Remotely positive? Remotely positive? This guy is hilarious. He literally, like, bro, this is probably one of the funniest channels. Pokemon ZA is great, actually. Great? It's like you already knew, bro. You already knew the entire, like, thing around this game. And in the thumbnail, you see this fucking thumbnail, guys? Remotely positive? Remotely positive? You know this is the only video on YouTube saying this shit. Look at this. No other thumbnail. Hello? Oh my god. And it's gotta be the periods. It's gotta be the periods that just really triggers people. Of course. Like, why are you acting like this is simple? What happened, guys? I don't know what I did. Oh my god, bro. He cracks me up. He cracks me the fuck up. It's hilarious. Like, let me like this shit. Hold on. Let me expect normal zoom. Oh, jeez, I'm such an idiot. But it's very funny. It's very funny how, you know, just depending on how you see things, it can change the entire perspective, you know, depending on what echo chamber you're in. And people already form their own opinions. So when you do something like that, like, I just look at the context clues behind things like that. You know, when you make a video title and thumbnail that just says something that's completely different from everybody else, expect to get a lot of pushback from the comments. You have to. I don't know why you're fucking surprised, dog.
But the discussion around Legends ZA has made it more apparent than ever and more clear than ever that I need to do it. The negativity grifting online when it comes to not just Pokemon, but Nintendo has gotten completely out of control. Nintendo is a company that needs to be criticized. I 100% agree. They do a lot of bad things, and certainly I think they are worthy of criticism like any other company. But ever since the Switch 2 came out, the discussion around Nintendo has been completely skewed in one way. There is no good faith conversations anymore. There is no nuance to any conversation.
And I think this is because it no longer is just about Nintendo. It's about the entire gaming industry. Before, Nintendo was ass, right? But they were ass in their own little ass box. They assed out in their ass area, and all the ass was in that ass. But now, other motherfuckers are being like, well, Nintendo can do all this shit and get away with it, so why don't we sell some $100 games? Why don't we sell some $70 games with day one DLC? Like, why don't we do that? I'm like, and everybody's like, whoa, wait. You know, like that whole thing where Nintendo upped their prices and then all other games upped their fucking prices for everything. I was like, that was scary. That was just scary. That's when people realized this is getting out of control. We have to stop Nintendo. And also, it's affecting not even these other stupid, you know, corporal borpals that we really don't care about. You know, like you can just not buy an Xbox. Who gives a fuck? But now with Power World, like we can't even make monster catching games anymore. When in reality, Dragon Quest was the one who started that shit. A lot of their stuff is grifted from Dragon Quest, which is why they didn't really get them on the designs of the Pokemon guys. I'm just saying. But fuck Power World, fuck all of that. You know, a bottom line between this is Nintendo is doing what we do to everybody else in the world. We all want the best deal possible for nothing. And that's what Nintendo wants. They know you're still gonna buy the fucking game. And Bo, when you put shit like this out that says, hey, it's great actually, you should buy the game, you're just putting forward the fact that they can still do this. And idiots will be like, it's fine, still pay for it. And nobody wants that. People want good Pokemon games. If you want good Pokemon games, don't support this Pokemon game. That's all I'm saying, man. It's one town. It's a tiny-ass map. Dragon Quest version 1 had a bigger map that came out in 2012. Look at the graphics. Down there. Do they look better or worse than ZA? You'll probably say they look about the same. 10 years ago. That's all I'm saying. Over fucking 10 years ago. This is 2012. Holy shit.
Either you are the biggest Nintendo shill of all time and you like every slop game they put out, or you hate Nintendo so much that you act like they kidnapped your dog and tortured your family. And specifically, I think the reason this type of conversation online has risen in prominence so much is because of YouTubers. The negativity grifting YouTubers that are on this platform when it comes to Nintendo that popped up out of nowhere, out of the woodwork, to just start making Nintendo negativity videos is so funny to me. Let's take Nintendo for example. This guy's been around for a while. He has been posting for over 4 years. Used to just do kind of retrospective type content reviews, talking about Nintendo games from a very level-headed position. Lately, he realized that, well, if you just start being a negativity grifter, you get way more views. I mean, look at this. 162K views on Nintendo Live and nobody cares. 52K views on Let's Talk About Nintendo's Greed. Oh, but
okay. So I love this. You know, this whole argument that, you know, people are just doing it for the views or whatever. And it doesn't matter what content somebody is recently making. What matters is you have to look at, once again, what I said earlier in the stream, man, what the point this guy is making. He's trying to, you know, sort of take him down because what content that he sees value in him, he's not making anymore. He's making this other content that a lot of other people see value in that you don't even know. Like a lot of the times, guys, you see this fucking channel? I don't get views on anything, okay? Like, I literally just make videos to make videos. Now, imagine if I started, you know, creating a different kind of video and it got more views, but I just fucking liked making it. Then you would think like, oh my gosh, he's only making this for the views now. But I assure you, I'm making videos now and I'm getting 0 views. So I don't care. It means nothing to me. And it could be the same for him. He could care about the views, sure. And that could be why he's making them. Or it could be, wow, crazy enough, maybe he likes making content like this. Maybe he feels like he's spreading a word that thing needs to be said. You know, whatever, right? And I hate arguments like this that look at a result and immediately think because of this result, we know the cause. That's not how science works, motherfucker. Okay? You can't just look at, you know, he's making more views like this, so this must mean this, okay? And maybe he'll get into it more and be like, okay, maybe it couldn't be this, but like results like this just tell me that you're just kind of hating. You're hating on the haters. And that just makes you look like a double hater. That makes you look like a triple hater maybe. You know, and I am no hater, man. I just say it like it is. You can see me right here. I like the video because I think this is very funny. I think it's nice to see opinions that aren't ours. I think it's very good to see opinions that aren't ours. So we can, you know, allow them to explain it, allow them to help us understand our point better through them and their retarded takes. Man, it's insane though how hilarious this can get. How hilariously deep this can get with just you know, the finger out pointed towards you and you got 4 right back at yourself. Like this is some old fucking middle school shit, dog, and it still happens.
7,000 views, might as well do another game keycard negativity video to pay the bills, right? And it's not just this guy. You go to any channel that posts this type of negativity content.
And you could say the same argument for like he's still making the other videos because he still likes making them. So what's the problem here? You still have your retro videos that are all positive about Nintendo and video games, and then you have the other videos that other people can watch. Like it doesn't hurt you, dog. Why are you mad that people are doing this? Why are you mad that people are spreading awareness over the bad things that are happening and the bad things in your game? You had to make a video that said it's great, actually. You know, because everybody else is saying, you know, whatever they're not saying. And the problem I think he's gonna get to here, the real problem with this is when people attack himself. You know, don't attack his Botox. Let him fix his face. Let him be young forever. No, I'm joking. But seriously, you're supposed to attack, you know, his points and argue on how the game you think isn't really up to snuff. You're not supposed to be like, you're a fucking idiot, I'm gonna come to your house and kill you. Which is what a lot of people in the comments, I imagine, are doing. So we'll probably get to that in the video eventually.
There's a clear correlation between, okay, their videos were doing fine, but not that great, to, oh, they made one video about negativity, it blew up, and then their entire personality became about being negative regarding Nintendo. This Lord Frogmire guy is the most recent to realize how much money you can make by, you know, just spewing negativity everywhere. And let's be clear, there are room for valid criticisms, and I think even in this Pokemon Legends EA is an overpriced disappointment video, he makes some good points against the game, but when your entire channel looks like this.
I think, was that in my React Andy playlist? Hold on, let me scroll down here. Wait a minute. I know I've probably like watched that or something. No, I don't think it was. But I've definitely seen that shit in my recommendations. I don't follow this guy, Lord Frogmire. He looks like a pretty cool channel though. You guys should check him out. He's got like 20 videos, so they're probably pretty well edited, pretty well versed and have knowledgeable information in it. I do like information, so I might check him out. And I love videos like this. These hater videos. A lot of times I listen to, you know, music podcasts or things, you know, where people talk about things that they hate or whatever, but just because it's content that I usually ingest, I'm like, sometimes I get recommendations from it. It's hilarious, you know, it's really funny. But yeah, you can learn anything, you can get anything from any content. That's all I want to say.
When you're saying Silksong will be garbage and you will buy it anyway, yeah, I don't know, man. It's hard to take your opinion that seriously. Clearly, you realize, hey, if you just say a bunch of negative stuff, maybe not even just pertaining to Nintendo, I mean, you try to do it with Silksong here, it doesn't seem like that big as well as other Nintendo videos, especially as of late. Oh my goodness, look at these views. I mean, this entire channel started 3 months ago, and it's been pretty much shrouded entirely in Nintendo negativity, because Nintendo negativity videos do so much better than everything else. It's not hard to see why these people are doing it. This is absolutely paying their bills and then some. The moment it became financially lucrative, the moment it became the popular thing to do, everybody started hopping on this Nintendo hate bandwagon. And as someone who plays games for fun, and you know, you can always criticize things certainly and look at the flaws and discuss those flaws, it's weird to me that these people who hate Nintendo so much, they hate Pokemon so much, spend so much of their energy thinking about it. There's always room for talking out the goods and the bads of a game.
Okay. So this is a lot of false positives being portrayed as, you know, 100% corroborated truth. It's true that people do hate things, you know, a lot, and then they talk about them and then neurosis over them. But a lot of people who are making these channels, like I have no doubts in my mind, really loved and played these games back in the day. It's not that we're discounting the fact that they've made a good foundation as, you know, a company. The fact that we're, you know, mad right now is that it's just lazy, that they don't have to work hard. And that's the thing, man. The truth about this has always been profitable, you know, about companies and corruption and natural, you know, the truth has always been popular. Okay, now it's just people want to hear it more than whatever the fuck this guy is pushing, and they don't push back against it. Of course, it'll still get a lot of attention, a lot of attention. I should also be playing this while I'm yapping. It'll also get a lot of attention. Just wandering around on the internet about random bullshit that you like love or hate about a game. It's just because of the personality. It'll get a lot of attention. But the truth always gets more. And the truth of the matter is, these are not quality games that they're giving us. They're just not, you know, and we can't act like they are. It's incredibly disingenuous to act like something like that is a quality product that's worth 100 smackaroos. Okay, it's just not right, and a lot of people recognize this who, you know, aren't in the pockets of these people, and just want to spread the truth. Crazy enough, that gets out. You know, you see it with the literal reviews for the game, the Rotten Tomatoes. Nobody who doesn't have their hands in Nintendo's pants is saying good things about the game. I don't need to play the game to see that. I can watch tons of streams on it. And I don't need to play Digimon to see that it's actually a good game. I mean, it's not great. It's still not worth the money you're investing for it, and that's Nintendo's fault. At least that's how we perceive it. Because if Nintendo didn't feel the need to release a $100 game, then Digimon would probably be like, let's chill out, let's make this $60 or $50. But because Nintendo's like, fuck you, we are worth the world and back and then some. Everybody feels the need to sort of follow their bullshit guidance. It's so annoying. Let's see what else Bo has to say.
game or what a company does or whatever
Botox!
it is. But for me, at a certain point, if a video game company or a video game franchise is causing me so much inner turmoil that it's keeping me up at night, and I'm just every day posting negative thoughts, I'm filled with negative thoughts about it, eventually I just stop engaging with it, right? And the most frustrating thing, as someone who's been making Nintendo videos on YouTube for over a decade, I've been doing this for over a decade, since 2014. For one, I mean, there's so many things about it that kind of drive me crazy. For one, there is this very rose-tinted glasses picture of what Nintendo was back during the Wii U and 3DS era. I am very nostalgic for that era, but if you think that time to be a Nintendo fan was better than it is right now, you are absolutely out of your mind. I get it, we have nostalgia, we love a lot of the games that did release in that time frame, but the inconsistent cadence of releases during that time, during that generation, was pretty bad. Also, really surprised that people haven't realized that if you weaponize and how he was this great Nintendo leader, if you weaponize him and how he died and how that's what ruined Nintendo, you get clicks, you get views, that's I genuinely find just gross. You can have issues with Nintendo's current leadership. Certainly, the likes of Reggie and Iwata were.
Like, but that literally did happen. But that literally, are you lying to me? Are you just straight up lying to me about the fact that we had a literal CEO who was a game designer, and then we have one that was a businessman, and then it became towards making money? Are you gonna fucking lie to me that that is literally not what fucking happened? Because that is what fucking happened. Okay. Whether you want to look at, you know, feelings or whatever, it's just that the company's shifted directions. They have not, because take a step back. How many new IPs have been made since Iwata died? New IPs, completely new things from Nintendo that are a new franchise that has a new character, that has a new thing, that looks like a new thing, that is creative. It has a mind. There's not a remake. How many of those? Oh, really? That many, huh? That's zero. Oh my God. I think ARMS was the thing, but I think that might have been right around. I mean, it's close enough that he probably could have like, guys, maybe we should make something with the ARMS over on the Wii era, you know. It's close enough to me, at least. But yeah, Nintendo publishes a lot of new stuff, of course, but dog, they just became lazy. They just said we can make more money if we stop investing all this money into Pokemon. Pokemon is already leagues above every other franchise like it. It makes double of the person under it, which I think is like Star Wars or something. I think it's something else, and then it's Star Wars is third. But yeah, they do that. They invest a small fraction of that back into the game, and then they feed it to us on a silver platter, silver premium platter, and then motherfuckers are here like, I'll pay 200 instead of 100, please, actually. This is why I'm so glad Palworld exists, man. I wish, honestly, I wish they would have made them even closer to Pokemon. You know, I wish they would have just said, fuck it. Fuck Pikachu in the game. Fuck Pikachu in the game. We don't care. We don't give a shit. Make him purple. I don't give a fuck. You can buy a costume for purple Pikachu that turns him yellow. And then you can color that costume to turn him the exact yellow that Pikachu is. Put Pikachu in the game. Like, that's what they should have done, man. Because it's so stupid how you're not even attached to the gameplay. You're attached to the things, the literal objects on the screen that look like other fucking things because of the pixels they fucking corroborated and made. It's not even like you like this company or the people at it. And as a matter of fact, they hate you. They are disgusted with you as a gamer, as someone who sits on their ass and holds a controller and has fun and he feels fulfilled in life. I know it because I was a developer and I worked with developers. And that is why I not only want to, you know, get rid of Hollywood, I want to get rid of all these fucking entertainers, man. They are disgusting. They are inherently disgusting because not a lot of people, once they get the money in them, once they get the dollar signs in them, still do it because they love doing what they do. And when they do, you can see it in the game. You know, Expedition 22, 32, 33, I don't know. But you can see that's a game that just has so much content because like it feels like they picked up the controller when they were done doing this. When they were done with that, they picked up a fucking controller and played it themselves. That's what it feels like to me. Oh my God, I did crazy things with this. Crazy things with the keyboard. Oh. But anyways, what you have to remember about the whole grifting situation is that everybody's a grifter. Everybody online, I am a grifter. I am the fucking most complex grifter you will ever see. Because my version of grifting is going to leave you here thirsting for more grift. It's like, why do I want his grift more? Why do I want it more? It's because it's authentic, man. It's because it's authentic. All you gotta do, man. All you have to do. Just make a game like Expedition 33 that you actually like, and your audience will be there, you know? And maybe it'll be something that a lot of people like. Maybe it'll be something that not a lot of people like. But if you invest in that, and you invest in the growth into that, and you really believe in it, you realize you can retard max anything into succession, into maximum authenticity, and into the stratosphere, basically. I could do it. Everybody has the ability to do this. You just have to be consistent enough. You just have to be a stubborn idiot, honestly. That's what fucking the Mo Bamba guy was. Sheck West? Sheck West. Routine, stubborn fucking idiot. It took him over 4 years to get that song out. But Mo Bamba was a crazy hit. Made a lot of money. Look where he is now, though. Not that that's even a bad thing, guys. Nobody wants to be famous all the time with a bunch of people looking at them. You know, that's not the point of life. The point of life really is, and this is so annoying, but you just have your peace and be able to love willingly. And, you know, you give that love out when you want to. You know, hopefully it's good quality. Hopefully you're not giving people who are craving pizza, you're giving them a cake. Hopefully, but you'll never really know. Unless you just get down to brass tacks and start doing it. Because then the results will start showing. But it surely is a confusing process along the way. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. I have no idea where I was in this video. Oh my god. Oh yeah, I was right there. Oh, we're muted.
About current Nintendo. But then the main thing, and the reason I hopped on here after posting my Legends EA review, is the unwillingness to have a nuanced conversation. So if you've watched my Legends EA review, first of all, thank you. Even if you disagree with me, it's a 20-minute video. The first 10 minutes of that video are me saying what I don't like about the game, my issues with the game, the things that I find to not be that good about Legends EA. That is the first half of the video. The second half is me saying, well, despite these flaws, I actually had a really good time with the game. I don't know when this happened. I feel like in certain game circles, it's been around for a while, and maybe just recently kind of flooded into the Nintendo scene. Maybe it's just because Nintendo is more popular than ever and they're doing better than ever. But it feels like you can't have issues with a game and enjoy it without getting yelled at. Like, I acknowledge there are a lot of issues with Legends EA. There are a lot of issues with every Pokemon game on Switch. I would say there are a lot of issues with every Pokemon game on 3DS.
See, there's not an issue with, you know, just calling out and saying you like and hate a game. There is an issue with people only reading the thumbnail and the video title and then going down here and being like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Saying their piece so they can be seen, so they can get a bunch of these, bunch of these fucking things right here. Bunch of these little updoots. And they can feel like an actual person in life. That is it. That is it. You know what I'm saying? It has always been not about the actual narrative of what is being said in the video. And it's not even that. People will watch the video, but it's your tone. Of course, he started out with 10 minutes of him just sucking dick, just sucking, slurping cock of wonderful, wonderful Nintendo, wonderful Game Freak. Or not slurping cock, but you know, he ended it off with that. He started the video with the negativity. It'd be like, they suck, all that bullshit. It doesn't matter. Does not matter at all. It's the tone. It's the way you present this information. And you presented it in a way that was like, I had fun with it, so you'll probably have fun with it if you're a Pokemon fan. And people don't like that tone. People don't like that tone, especially with this game, because of the narrative that's been going on with everything in life. Like, we're tired of getting fucked over. Essentially, we're tired of the disrespect from everybody, and Nintendo is definitely doing that to everybody. Nintendo is one of the most disrespectful motherfuckers in the industry, and people are realizing that, and so it's coming over to Bo, because I can't talk to Big Daddy Nintendo, but I can talk to Botox. I can talk to that fucking face melding gaming, you know? I can talk to him. And so I'm gonna put all the anger I have for Nintendo for making me buy this dog shit game and tricking me into thinking that I was going to have fun. I'm gonna put it all on the boat, you know? And that's what people think. It's not a wise way to think. It's not a wise way to view or ingest videos. But it is the way a lot of people decide to spend their time online. I'm not telling you your hobbies are wrong. I'm saying maybe go outside and take a walk. I know it's cold outside now. You know, we're entering the mid-fall winter kind of area now. Almost Halloween, so get that candy and shit. Get that candy. Get that yaper. But you gotta realize, not let's do what they want to do. You have to realize you made your community, dog. Like 10 years on YouTube, and you don't recognize what your community's like. Like, you made your community. I feel like people just clown Bo all the damn time nowadays. I mean, it may have been different 5 years ago, but I'm in those comments, man. They clown this guy all the fucking time. All the fucking time. There's a reason why he's 10 years in and he has 31K. Because they will not stop clowning him. You know, I've seen people have more growth than this in 1 year of consistently dropping videos. But like, you see this? He does this like fucking every fucking 10 days or so. And maybe he doesn't want growth, kind of like me. But depending on, you know, just what I've seen from his videos and how he talks and how he structures them, I feel like he does. It's just a tone problem. Not everybody wants this tone nowadays. And you're combining it with just the fact that you're glossing over the reality of life, and you're just trying to put, I don't know, the positivity grift You know, I should make a video called Nintendo Positivity Grifting is Out of Control. You know, because honestly, all of the grifting is out of control, okay? And I used to watch Player's Essence too. You know, he's a good guy. He makes news videos about Nintendo every day. But you know, they're just news videos. It's all grifting. And once you feel like you've had enough of it, you just had enough of it. You know, no ill will towards him. I just don't watch him anymore. But yeah, a lot of people just can't take that. They can't take the fact that, oh man, I don't like his opinion anymore, I should unsubscribe. They have to go here and do this, you know? Just like the fucking game developers, you know? They can't take the fact that, there's my 7 o'clock alarm, so we're about to head off. I'll finish up this video, then I'll head off. But yeah, it's very annoying. It's very frustrating how everybody feels like their opinion has more stake than your fellow man's. Your fellow man's opinion is how you made yours in the first place. Like, hello? None of these thoughts are our own. I am just a being, an entity observing the river of bullshit that flies through my mind. If I listened to every fucking thought I had in my head, I would be dead right now. 100%. So, you have to think that your thoughts, your stupid, you know, sayings on life and video games, they don't matter that much. And when you're going against the narrative to spread something that you think is truthful, but that is not generally truthful to everybody else, expect pushback. It's fine, you know? It probably happens to a lot of his videos. Because nowadays, Nintendo got lazy, and you're lying to people with the shit earlier in the video, with the Iwata shit, you're lying to people. Saying that, oh no, everybody thinks Iwata went away and then they went all business mode. I'm like, but Iwata went away and they did go all business mode. What are you talking about? What are we talking about?
Every Pokemon game, honestly, going back to Red and Blue, has issues. Mario Kart World has issues. I really don't like the intermissions. Donkey Kong Bonanza is actually a game that I didn't like anywhere near as much as most people. But because I ultimately said I enjoy Mario Kart World, because I ultimately said I like Pokemon Legends ZA more than a lot of other Pokemon games, I am a shill. And I had these comments on the video before they even had time to watch the video, which tells me really all I need to know. None of this negativity is done in good faith. We can have conversations. We can talk about these things. We can acknowledge the issues with the Switch 2 and with Mario Kart World and with Pokemon Legends ZA and with the fact that they released Dragon Drive, which is another games that I didn't like this year. Kind of interesting that I'm a Nintendo shill, and the only game right now that I'm going to put in my top 10 favorite games of the year list is probably Pokemon. I'm not even sure if Mario Kart World will make the cut, to be honest, but I'm a Nintendo shill because I like Legends ZA.
This should not be.
There's no room for discussion. There's no room for nuance. If a game has a bad texture, it's the worst game ever made. It's a terrible game. But then on the flip side, and granted, Twitter and other social media, the algorithms are very targeted. But I go on Twitter right now, and I've been pretty positive on ZA, so the algorithm is feeding that back to me. But I go in there, and all I see are hundreds of posts, if not thousands, from people that I've never seen before on Twitter, just enjoying the game. And for the first time since the Switch 2 came out, I look at my Twitter feed, and it's not, you know, just insane negativity. And then you see these posts of people lining up for the game at night, and you see this report from Bloomberg that Nintendo is getting ready to produce 25 million Switch 2s by March, which is not only a record for any video game console, but it's a long shot record. Like, it's not even close how much more that is in the first 9 months of any other video game console. And then you like think about that, and you think like, okay, well, these games are selling well, these consoles are selling well. The discussion online is very negative, but in reality, when you actually talk to somebody in person, maybe somebody's more casual, not permanently online, the reality is that they're actually doing better than ever. And while I personally disagree,
I cannot wait until we get actual solid numbers out, because there's just been a lot of debate over what's actually happening on the sales of Nintendo, and you know what they like to do with the false scarcity. So I'm not gonna say anything about this. I really don't know. I really, honest to goodness, have no idea what's going on with the sales. I don't have a Switch 2. I was gonna get another Switch 1 because my Switch is really dying. I should give you guys a picture of how it looks. It looks bad. But yeah, I don't know what the sales are looking like. I know some content creators bought it, some didn't. I don't talk to people in real life. I do know one person who I used to work at a shop, and one of the guys there who had a kid bought it. But I think that's like the main demographic. If you have a kid, you probably bought a Switch 2. I don't know.
Agree with this. A lot of people would say the games they're releasing right now are better than ever. People are loving Legends ZA. People love Mario Kart World. Yes, the hardcore crowd. Intermission, certainly. I agree. I don't like the intermission. I don't like the driving on straight highways. But people are clearly happy with the console. There's this weird like sect, this weird bubble online of negativity where it's just I guess an echo chamber. I guess would be a word for it. Where these people say all these negative things. They get that feedback loop. They see other people online agreeing with them. But the reality in the real world is that most people do not feel that way. And it's so weird seeing it because there is such a disconnect between what is actually happening with this console and with its games and how they're reviewing and then how people talk about them online. And there's always been the Nintendo detractors for as long as I can remember, but just never to this degree. And I've said this in videos in the past. It started on April 2nd. It started when they had that Nintendo Direct. There was that 10-minute period where people thought Mario Kart World was 90 USD, and since then the conversation has never changed.
And oh, here we go. So here he's finally talking about the main issue people have with this game. And what really sucks about this is this whole Nintendo negativity grift is really calling into question the true problem of this whole fucking society, man. It's a class war. It really is, because a lot of people cannot afford this shit. They bought it and they couldn't afford this shit. And then they bought it and then they were like, oh yes, $100 Pokemon game. This is gonna be peak. And then they beat it in a day. In a day. Because the map is small. Because the gameplay is trash. And then I'm like, well, I guess I'll just shiny hunt. And then they shiny hunt and then they find shinies in like 2 fucking hours. And then like, well, I guess I'll just play online with some friends or some online PvP or whatever. And then they go online and it's still dog shit. And it's like the experience is not there. And now if it's like, if $90 is nothing to you, then you don't care. You had fun for your like day or whatever, playing with your friends or whatever the fuck, you know? But for the majority of gamers who love these kinds of games, I know you don't have enough money for Pokemon. I know you probably don't even have enough money for Digimon, okay? But what I don't want is someone like Bo, who is obviously in a privileged situation, to give you some sort of idea that this is going to be something that's worth your time, and it's not. Okay, it is if you have the money for it, but if you bought a Switch 2, you probably got the money for Pokemon, let's be real. But yeah, the financial decisions are really what's bringing everybody down, and I'm glad he finally brought this up because it's so disgusting how you can just pull the wool over people's eyes with bullshit like this, and I think he even mentioned it in his review. But it's just the tone of everything, you know? People really don't listen to the words of reviews. It's tone, especially what you do at the end of a video and at the beginning of a video, and especially in the thumbnail and especially in the title. Those are the main things people are gonna respond to. So of course, all your comments are negative when you pull some bullshit out, even though it's like, oh yeah, in the first 10 minutes of my video, I was talking negative, but in your thumbnail, you said it's good actually. And at the end of the video, you probably ended it with some shit that was like, it's good actually. I don't remember. I hardly remember if I finished the entire video. We might watch it too if you guys like this one, but it's so funny how, you know, it's not really lying, but it's omissions of truth. And this is exactly what a lot of bosses do to me. A lot of employers like to do to you. They like to not lie to you, but omit the actual truth. And it's disgusting.
In fact, I still see people
protecting
saying,
you. I'm protecting you. I'm protecting your childhood. Pokemon is still good, actually. Just try it. Just give it a shot. Just give it a chance, okay? It's stupid. Don't lie to people in any way, okay? If you don't know, you don't know. And, you know, of course, he probably said some shit like this, but it's a lie in the thumbnail. It's not a lie. It's clickbait. It's clickbait in the thumbnail, and nobody likes clickbait, okay? Nobody likes clickbait. Even the people who do react to it are like, ha, that's funny. Well, they still don't like it. At least me, I don't know. I just personally don't like being lied to, being tricked in any way, you know, having the wool poured over me. I don't even like surprise parties, or when somebody randomly gives me a gift, or when my dad randomly shows up at my house. I hate that shit. It disgusts me. It's like just tell me what you're doing, because you're not gonna affect me anyways. You know, it's not gonna pull the wool over me. You have no idea how stupidly prepared I am for literally everything that will happen to me in life. I'm the motherfucker that's like, I wish a motherfucker would. Because I'm ready. Because I'm ready for anything. And it's disgusting how I can click on a video by Bo that says, it's good actually, and I can just already fucking tell what it's gonna be. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a fucking grift. But people that don't realize that get pissed off. They get pissed off. They're like, oh, I got tricked. I got tricked into spending $100 for these Mega Evolutions. Because Botox Games told me it was great.
So actually, this is a $200 game. And I just see people every game, not even just Nintendo games, but like every game is actually like $10 or $20 more than it actually is. And then we saw game key cards happen, which are, you know, certainly not ideal. And then of course you have the tariffs, which
certainly not ideal. Okay, yeah. He's captured.
It's weird, you know, we hold Nintendo to a different standard than an Xbox or a PlayStation. I've seen almost nobody who is anywhere near angry to this degree about the PS5 and PS5 Pro going up in price. I haven't seen a single post about it. No one cares. No one cares that console raised in price. No one really cares that.
Because that's not like they did it in reaction to Nintendo. And all the consoles raised their price at the same time. Xbox even raised their price for Game Pass, and people are talking about that. Definitely. I don't know about the PlayStation shit. I don't have a PlayStation, so I'm really not in those forums. I really don't know about the PlayStation shit. But people are talking about Game Pass, for sure. People are talking about the fact that the Xbox went up in price, for sure. Okay, you're just really not in those spaces, and that's okay. Just say you don't know. Say you don't see it. Stop like it's once again, it's omissions of truth. It's okay to say that I don't see these things, but just coming off and being like, yeah, it doesn't exist, it doesn't happen. And the reason why you probably don't see it a lot as much as the Nintendo stuff is because Nintendo caused it. So if we're talking about them raising their prices, you have to mention Nintendo first. Because they did it first. Because it's an obvious reaction to it. You know, tariffs or whatever is totally what they're saying they're doing. And they're not going to say, yeah, we're raising our prices because Nintendo raised it. We're just going to say we're raising our prices because of the same reason that Nintendo raised their prices. Sure.
That the Xbox raised in price. Certainly people are making jokes about it because of where Xbox is right now. No one's really complaining that the Xbox handheld is $1,000. I think that might be because people don't care. But then on the flip side, you see Nintendo releases console for $40, $50, and people are like, this is an overpriced, you know, paperweight. Why would I buy this? There's no games for it. But then you look at the lineup of games, and there's major exclusives almost every single month, if not multiple a month. The third-party lineup is better than it's ever been on any other Nintendo console, and it's just like, what is happening? I feel like I am
third-party lineup? Where?
Completely detached from
Where are those games?
You're
not going to show them on the screen? I want some third-party Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games. Oh, what, there aren't any? Oh, what, they're all trash? AI slop? Interesting. Well, at least I got Mario Kart World. Donkey Kong.
$80, and I think the content rollout for that game, or the lack thereof, is a disappointment.
Pokemon with
It's still a
that
good video game, though.
za.
That game's a lot of fun. Pokemon Legends EA had its DLC announced beforehand, and some of the patchers might not look the best, but it's still a fun video game. Donkey Kong Bonanza isn't my game of the year, but a lot
Yes, beforehand, about a month. That was great. It's great. And of course, it was, released that there would be DLC, but it didn't tell us what price it would be. Sure. And then I think, honestly, in that direct where they showed the DLC, they probably didn't even say it was paid. They probably just said it was day one DLC. You can probably just download on your console, little gooner. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be so fantastic. I can't corroborate that. Once again, I don't know. But it's a Nintendo Direct. They are toxically positive. So they probably did not mention anything about the price or the fact that it would be more money. And they just said, oh, it's going to be more DLC so you can get more evolutions. When in reality, the DLC came out and it locked content. It took things away from the main experience instead of adding things to it. And that is the problem, guys. That is the problem, that if we accept DLC that locks away versions of Pokemon, then we're going to accept Okay, get the DLC to be able to get shinies. Get the DLC to be able to get the 9th gym badge. Oh shit, the 9th gym badge. And then you can unlock super mega evolutions. Super mega evolutions. I don't know. I just don't care, man. I just don't care.
people had a lot of fun with that game. They're selling Kirby Air Riders Amiibo for $50 US. That's completely insane, but that doesn't change the fact that the game is probably going to be pretty good, even if I think visually it's very underwhelming. Ultimately, it either comes down to you either hate Nintendo, like your life depends on it, or you are the most blatant Nintendo shill, and your opinion can't be taken seriously. And I'm
No, I really love Kirby. I really love Nintendo. I'm not going to shit on Kirby Air Ride Deluxe or whatever the fuck it is. Because I like Kirby. I love the game back in the day. I probably won't play it. I'll probably just look at it, you know? Because once again, I don't have a Switch 2. I don't plan to get one. And I don't care too much about Kirby Air Ride anymore. Like, hello? All the people that I have nostalgic with that game, you know, I'd rather not hang around them right now because I'm in the lonely stage and everybody fucking wants something from me now for some reason. But yeah, it seems that way because the people who rise to the top have the strong and bold opinions. Like you, Mr. Positivity Grifter. You have a strong opinion about it, and then everybody else who rises to the top has a strong opinion of negativity or positivity. If you have an opinion like me that's balanced, you know, of course I don't like Nintendo because I see the truth in what they're doing, but I like a lot of their franchises, I like a lot of their products, and I do recognize that it's possible to have fun with Pokemon. It's possible to have any fun with any shit game. The problem with it is the value proposition is off, and it's incredibly lazy, and it's incredibly disingenuous to say that it's okay, it's completely ethical to buy this game if you like Pokemon. It is not. I would rather you buy Pokemon cards. I would rather you buy a classic Pokemon game. I'd rather you buy anything from Black and White 2 backwards. Because since then, they've been doing horrible things with the franchise. They've not been making leaps and strides. They've been making bounds backwards on how to squeeze enough money out of you. It's only a matter of time before they make the eternal Pokemon gacha. And they already fucking tried to with Pokemon Go. And they were like, wait a minute. This ain't making enough money. This ain't making enough money, so we'll pull out of it. We'll pull out of it. It's got too many users, not enough money. But you see what I mean, guys? It's only a matter of time before they make the ultimate Pokemon gacha. And this is a console game that you spent $80 for, and you still have to roll for Surfing Pikachu. It's only a matter of time.
I'm tired of it. We can have conversations, guys. We can talk about the good and the bad. We don't need to be disingenuous with our takes just to like feed the negativity loop, man. It's so tiring. It's also very much okay to enjoy games that have flaws. You don't need to constantly be having negative thoughts about every single thing you do and interact with in your day-to-day life. As they said in the classic Pokemon intro from 2011, it's not always black and white. But that is going to do it for today's video. I just wanted to hop on here and rant a little bit about the negativity grifting that has gone on in the Nintendo community over the past few months. It is getting insane, to be honest. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let's have a civil conversation. And until next time, folks, peace.
I do like civil conversations. Guys, go subscribe to Bo. He makes funny videos. I like funny videos. I like the Botox. Pretty big fan. And also, just remember, he's a free spirit, you know? Don't send hate his way. Don't send love his way. Send whatever you want his direction. Just try not to hurt other people doing that. Ah, we're frozen. We're frozen.
Okay, let's watch the background NPC. She was talking about Nintendo something. As per usual. I am very much ready. I have not purchased the Nintendo Switch myself. I am not falling for it. I am not stupid. I will not subject myself to Nintendo slop. I might play it later, but or not play it later. Buy it later, but I don't know. It's not really worth it.
So the Switch 2 is out, and honestly, I wish I could say I was excited. I really wanted to be excited. Like many 90s babies, I grew up on Nintendo. They were my very first gaming love, and not just the games, but the feeling of them, the wonder, the warmth, the way they pulled you into a world and made it feel like home. Ocarina of Time was the one that really awoke something in me. That opening in Kokiri Forest with the Deku Tree, riding Epona across Hyrule Field, it all felt so massive. Like
I was not a Zelda Link kid, but I really did enjoy Pokemon Stadium, dude. That shit changed my fucking life. Those little mini games and shit. Oh my lord. My brother's friends had a Nintendo 64 and they borrowed it and would come over to the house and like they were older than me, so I got to like, you know, smash a little fucking console and like play with it, but I didn't get any of it.
Still
I sucked at it, but it was awesome.
The real world was tucked inside a little cartridge, and then Majora's Mask came along, and my little self had never felt such anxiety. That eerie moon, the ticking clock, the emotional side quests that made you care so much in so little time. It was the very first game that made me feel something beyond just fun. It was sad, confusing, kind of strange at times, and very deep. It was.
And I like that they evolved with that because the kids that bought the game, they grew up. Obviously, they didn't just want another, you know, Ocarina of Time. Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Just a self. I was obsessed with Super Mario 64, running wild through Peach's castle, jumping into paintings, discovering every secret star. That game felt like true freedom. And then there were classics like Kirby's Dream Land, Yoshi's Story, Donkey Kong 64, Star Fox, Metroid Prime, all completely different and wonderful in their own way. And every one of them had a vibe, a soul, that Nintendo spark that made it feel like you weren't just playing, you were being let in on something very special. And then my parents bought me the original DS, and just like that, the whole thing was crazy.
Oh my god, I stole a DS. Did I steal it?
Yes, we are still.
Yeah, I stole it. Yeah, I stole a DS when I was like 8. Some kid gave it to my friend, and then I stole it off of that friend, and I think that friend got blamed, and I stole it. Yep, I was a rat piece of shit. You wanna know why? Because my parents wouldn't fucking buy me one, so I really wanted one. They had Rayman on the 3DS and they had Pokemon Red and Leaf. I think it was Red. Yeah, Fire Red and Leaf Green. I think they had Leaf Green. Yeah. That was fucked up. I know I was a horrible kid. I'm sorry. Like, I'm just saying, kids are stupid, man. Kids are stupid. I've never stolen anything since then. Like, seriously, I'm just saying. Like, I'm not a klepto or anything, but kids are fucking stupid.
That's wide open for me. That's how I found Animal Crossing Wild World, and I was hooked. I spent hours in that little village, rearranging furniture, writing letters, fishing for red snappers, and visiting my best friend's town during our weekly sleepovers. Even
that
that
is so cute. Actually, I never like many gamer friends. I only had one, and she only had a PlayStation. Yeah, my experience was smoking a lot of Dot Inc. Guys, I was literally like 7 or 6 years old. Cut me some slack, man. And my parents cooked me. I never got to own a console until I was an adult, pretty much. And that DS lasted me forever. I even bought myself a Game Shark with it. Like, I bought a Game Shark just to play games because I couldn't afford to play games, okay? Like, I never sold it, I never did anything with it.
I think actually the person I stole from
It takes me right back to those quiet, cozy afternoons after school, all filled up with that clunky silver DS with nowhere else that I needed to be. Truly the original stuff. I enjoyed them, but those games were helping to shape how I saw everything. Stories, characters, even myself. And for a while, it really felt like Nintendo understood how to make something that mattered, and it didn't stop.
Yeah, and then capitalism struck. What a surprise. You didn't have a gamer friend until you stole their DS. No, that's not what happened. My friend that I slept over at, she had a friend that let her borrow a DS, and then she quote-unquote lost it, but it turns out I stole it. And then I never told them.
Why do I not
have enough charge on my house and I never told anybody about it.
There, I basically owned every major Nintendo console, starting with the N64, GameCube, Wii, DS, 3DS, even the Wii U, which, in my humble opinion, was ahead of its time, by the way. But I owned.
Nah, it was not. It's COVID.
That's so funny. I thought the whole PC froze for some reason, but yeah, my mouse just died. That's hilarious. All right, so we have our last song here. I hope you guys enjoyed our little Alana cool down, a little Alana detox. And then let me see here. We'll make sure that's good. Thank you all for joining the stream. I appreciate ya. We'll go to a video that's less laggy over here. It's been quite a time. We've talked about parasocialness. We've talked about the crazy Nintendo Gooner. We've talked about a lot of things. Oh my god, there's a fucking bot in chat again? Are you kidding me? I don't care about the best view. Whatever, I can't see him. That's fine. But whatever we do next time, it will be fun. It will be glorious. I am going to probably go for a walk now. Here's what I do around 7 after I have breakfast. But it has been a couple of weird mornings lately because I've been having breakfast on stream, which is a little bit different for me. But let me try and get over to the end without my mouse. There we go. That's good. We'll do that then. Alrighty, people. I will catch you next time. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your night if it is also nighttime. Goodness gracious, I can't scroll down on this thing. Scroll. You know what? Actually, I think we can turn it up this way. Yeah. Let's just turn it up through the PC. Okay, that'll work a little bit better. All right, guys. I am out of here. I will catch you tomorrow morning where we'll go back to Dragon Quest. I think we're gonna start version 4.1, baby. Let's go.